Last week was quarterbacks. This week on College Football 27, we got running backs here. The next 25 number one overall running back recruits. And of course, being that number one label gives you all the expectations in the world. And as you've seen with the quarterbacks, if you watch that one, some live up to the hype. Some never even get a chance and, fade away. Some have to transfer to small schools. Some get to hoist the national championship and be a number one overall draft pick. Let's see who these 25 players will be. Starting off, number one running back, Javonte Tavares, north-south receiver. And it's already a nice start when we get a gem as our first one. We started the quarterback video with a bust, so nice little change of pace here to get a gem. He will be headed to Texas. I did take some of the advice and the info from last video to try to make these ones, a little bit better and try to cater to what you guys want to see. Next up, DJ Paul, east-west playmaker with nice speed and athleticism. The change of direction being 95, that highlight trait. He heads to Georgia. It'll be no surprise that running back careers are a lot quicker. As soon as they are in, they leave. They only will a lot of the times be a one-year starter because, with quarterbacks, you want guys who have a lot of starting experience. Traditionally, in recent history, guys who have started multiple seasons in college football are ultimately better and, translate to the NFL better because they're more NFL ready. Well, the running back is the opposite end of that spectrum. Teams don't want to draft a 23-year-old running back who's got like 1,000 carries in his college career. They don't want that type of mileage on their running backs, and they don't want that type of player to come in at 23 years old, and with how running back primes last, maybe knock off a year or two on what could be a already short prime, and running backs are also deemed very replaceable. So you're going to see a lot more guys at 21 years old going pro after maybe one successful season. We finally have some starting action, though. DJ Paul, backup running back at Georgia now for 2 straight years. Pretty identical yards, but now a starting opportunity for Tavares, our first running back. We'll be seeing bowl action. Unlike last video, there was so much playoff action in the quarterback video that I had to basically cut out all the bowl games just so I could keep it at my normal video length. This video, we won't have that issue. We'll be able to do things as normal and include the bowl game, so we'll get to see even more of all of these players as Texas takes on Virginia, up 28-21. That's a nice throw from Virginia on that designed roll out here in the Las Vegas Bowl, up the middle on the ground. Virginia first down. Their run game not doing too hot, 21 yards on just 12 carries. Their passing game wasn't doing too great either, with their quarterback having 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. I don't really know how this is only a 7-point deficit for Virginia. There must be some special teams or defensive touchdown action going down here. With 6 minutes to play, they'll throw underneath, make it a 3rd down and 4. As they're taking their time on this drive, but it all will be worth it if they score a touchdown, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. The screen gets blown up, a field goal try is good, and Texas now will take over, and we'll see if Tavares gets some action here out of the backfield. There he goes with the grab. Tavares is going to get I'm going to try to show you any meaningful touch these players get, but obviously we do care about if the team is able to win as well. Like, that's part of it. That's going to go into your overall resume, the amount of bowl wins, national championships, or even just playoff wins in general. As stepping up on 2nd down and 10, it's short, but he's got the completion, broke a tackle, got past the line of scrimmage to get 2, as on 3rd down and 8, only 3 there, so they'll punt it away. Virginia didn't have to use any timeouts. They still have 3.5 to go, so plenty of time to pull this one off, as they'll go send a man in motion. Play action, immediately tried to get it to the running back, but he wasn't even ready for it. It was a little too quick. 3rd down and 10, pressure in from the interior, and he's sacked, and they'll punt it away, so give Texas one opportunity really to put this one away. Tavares with a beautiful 9 yards there. That's the ideal situation because he can get the 1st down, make Virginia burn an extra timeout, and now a play action throw. Not necessary to throw the ball, but you do. You get the 1st and goal from the 6. Pitch it out. Tavares, touchdown. And probably your dagger score as the 5-star number 1 running back gives them a 2-score lead with 2 minutes to play. Virginia all out of timeouts. We'll see if they can pull anything off here as the 2-minute warning hits, but now down to the 48-yard line. Another 1st down picked up here as Texas is just trying to keep them in bounds. Deep drop and over the middle for another 1st down, but once again it's over the middle. The clock will stop momentarily, but eventually it does keep on ticking. 3rd down and 9, a sack, And Virginia now needing a touchdown here, it looks like, because they are going to go for it, as they're committing to that, trying to get the touchdown first, but it's not going to happen. Ball into the dirt. Texas with the bowl victory. So one bit of a critique on the videos was seeing the player card rather than like a custom graphic of the stats, which is fine. Like, I understand if somebody wants to see like the previous years and what kind of led up to that. So, you know, I think that's an easy change to make. If you prefer that, you can let me know, but I'm trying to kind of work with you guys to see what you guys want to see graphically and what you want to see on the screen, you know, because I do put a lot of time into that extra stuff. But Fabian Jefferson taking a +6. And Waddy is the next player for Clemson, Elite Dev. TJ Keene, we scout contact seeker. Little slow, but it doesn't actually seem all that crazy. So we head into the next season, and I mean, things move fast here when it comes to running backs. Fabian Jefferson, 500 yards, 13 touchdowns as a backup. So, you know, we're only going to be showing you these backs when they are like the out-and-out the guys on the team. So next up, I only am going to show you one play from this bowl game because it's 27-10. But Tavares on his one meaningful carry, hey, it's going to take it 83 yards. So if there's a blowout like this, I did sit through all the blowouts since, you know, running the ball is going to be prevalent when you're winning by 2, 3, 4 scores. If you get a play like that, you will see it as Tavares gets a 1,000-yard season, averaging 7.4 carry, 12 touchdowns. And also, if I don't show you any receiving stats, it's because there's no meaningful receiving stats. Most of the backs, I think, you know, this is a little bit of an issue I've identified. Most running backs that I've seen do not get a lot of receiving production. When I say that, like, I mean, like, they get like 100 receiving yards on 12 catches or something. Like, not anything meaningful receiving wise. So that's something that maybe could be a little bit better, but we'll be into playoff action here. DJ Paul is the starter here after taking a big leap for Georgia. He had 400 yards in back-to-back seasons as a backup. Now the out-and-out starter in a playoff game here against Ole Miss, getting a double-digit yard run. Fake it to him this time and hit his receiver on the outside. First down in a 23-23 game. Georgia now inside scoring range as he gets rid of that football instead of taking a sack, and that ball, you know, off the hands of the receiver, almost into a defender's as the handoff to Paul. Now we'll get him one. He's averaging just about 4 a carry. 3rd down and 9. Pump fake. Now looking down the middle. Got his man. Put him in the red zone now. Gain of 19 as the handoff. Backup running back checks in. Gets the ball for 9. 3rd down and 6. Paul back in. Takes the carry. Down to the 1. So close for Paul. He'll go again. Paul fighting. Not gonna get it. 3rd and goal. Draw. He stopped again. It's 4th and goal, and they'll kick the field goal. I don't love a draw from the 1-yard line, but the other attempts were, hey, just good defense from Ole Miss as they're back now getting it going for a run for the 24. They didn't have a good kick return, but they got the yards back pretty quickly on their first play. Now with 3 minutes to go, play action. An open man. Center of the field. Got it in the zones as a 40-yard line. As they'll go ground game. They got plenty of time to operate however they so choose to. 2nd and 4. Play action. Lineman down on the ground. And it doesn't matter, though, as the Georgia rush wasn't able to get home. 2.5 to play. Quick hitter. And that'll be 5 more. 2-minute warning approaching. They're doing a great job at a free rusher off the edge. And just blew right by him in a sack. 3rd and 13. 37-yard line. Can't get sacked here, and it's a good job to avoid it. If you got sacked, you probably would have knocked him out a field goal range. Instead, 47-yard kick is good, and we could be headed to overtime. As Paul on the ground, they'll see if they can get something big here to be, you know, a worthwhile timeout being burned. But no, 2 plays, just 4 yards, and now Ole Miss looking pretty good right now. 45 seconds to go, and sacked. Ole Miss burns the timeout, and this is scary on the other end, because can the Rebels get something? Punt return from the 35. He'll get it to the 40, 45, 50, and into Georgia territory. They're basically right outside field goal range now. 27 seconds, swing it outside, and a big tackle to hold them to a loss of 1. You just need maybe 5 yards here, and that's more than 5. Make it 19 with under 10 seconds to play, and the field goal at the buzzer is good. Ole Miss has stolen it. That's just really unfortunate. Georgia was playing it super safe at the end. Typically, teams are going to see if they can maybe break something on a screen or a draw. If not, they take it to overtime, but they didn't get that opportunity. A sack, then a nice punt return, set Ole Miss up immediately. So DJ got 1,000 yards, but he'll be headed to the NFL. Javonte Tavares goes in the 3rd round. DJ Paul goes in the 1st round. So you can kind of already see what the overall scale is going to look like. Paul was an 89 overall. He goes in the 1st round. It's going to be like a bit of an adjustment process from the kind of juiced overalls that we seen last year, but I think this is something that a lot of like more realistic players have kind of asked for. It's like not everyone should have an overly inflated overall, and at the end of the day, these are college players. TJ Keene goes to Ohio State, also elite dev. Peyton Nicholson next back up, also a contact seeker. So already some elite devs on the board. Fabian Jefferson, our only starter right now at Oregon, and they are not in the playoffs. So Waddy got some carries here, 365 yards, 5 touchdowns off the bench. Keene got 48 carries and put 6 of them in the end zone for Ohio State. And we head to Jefferson taking on Texas, as that's 21-13. As you can see, number 25 there getting the ball. Spin move not doing anything for him. 4th and 2, they're going to go for it. Hand it to Jefferson. Breaks up an arm tackle. And Jefferson on 4th down converts it. You can see the stat line there. 9 carries, 111, adding to it. And the direct snap, Jefferson, touchdown. He hasn't touched it much. That was just his 10th carry, but he's well over 100 yards. Found the end zone, and he's having a heck of a day here. 28-13 as Texas no longer have it. Tavares in the backfield. They have replaced him fine, but not able to get back to the playoffs. They were just on the outside looking in. Meanwhile, Oregon 8-4. Despite Jefferson's efforts, unranked Texas, though, with a 3-man rush, fires one into a receiver who was just met by a safety with a crushing hit to force an incompletion. Jefferson back on the ground, 8 more yards. I mean, look at the yards per carry. Look at the rushing production here. 148 on the ground now. Screen outside and turns the corner. Gets another 7. We're looking at a spot where if they score again, it's probably going to be all over. Jefferson met, stopped, and driven backwards, but they give him 1 yard of forward progress as Jefferson stopped on 3rd down, and they'll have to punt it away as Oregon trying to hold on to this double-digit lead as throwing and incomplete. Tried to go right, throw it back middle, did not work out. A 2nd and 10, receiver tight coverage broken up, and Oregon just all over everything right now. 3rd and 10, where he's hit and the ball just floats to the ground. 4th down, last chance for Texas, it looks like. Deep ball and knocked away. Oregon takes over in the red zone. Let's see Jefferson take the carry for another 4. Let's see if we can get him in the end zone again. As Jefferson with the ball. Jefferson, good blocking and a touchdown. What a game from Jefferson in the bowl action. As, yeah, 35-13, and we'll take you to the end of this one. It ends 38-20, Oregon's back 1,200 yards, 6 a carry, and his biggest game coming in the bowl game. He goes pro as a redshirt sophomore, so you can see there, 4th round pick. Well, he's already gone. TJ Keene, meanwhile, transferred, speaking of gone, from Ohio State to Indiana, but it's okay. Peyton Nicholson, the next number 1 back, goes to Ohio State, so that's probably why Keene wanted to transfer. They got another number 1 guy in there, doesn't want the competition. As Keene, now at Indiana, takes a +3, backup still, as the next guy, Peyton Nicholson, star dev. Some of these backs, though, you can see the overalls are not, like, crazy, but the development's, you know, pretty good so far. So Peyton Nicholson, 34 carries as a freshman. Keene got 11 touchdowns on 67 carries. That's really impressive. So he's a touchdown machine. And Waddy also as well, 100 carries, 12 touchdowns. All of them were backups, though. Nicholson immediately leaves, and he goes to TCU because Ohio State says, you know what, we got another number 1 back. 3 straight number 1 backs for Ohio State, but the first 2 have transferred. Waddy starting at Clemson now. TJ Keene starting at Indiana. So 2 on the board starting. And Peyton Nicholson actually went to TCU, but he decommitted from TCU, flipped to Texas A&M, where he's going to sit the bench. So already a lot of movement going on. Banks, star dev, and Tyrone Tuttle is the next one. Backfield threat, 95 speed, can catch, good change of direction, a gem. He looks to be pretty cool as we see the playoff bracket. I've seen Indiana in there. Meanwhile, Clemson taking on Colorado State. And this one, was a little unfair. 13-3 is your score right now, but trust me when I tell you, it ain't gonna remain the score as play action, and Colorado State does get the sack, but I am about to show you some spectacular QB play from Colorado State as they will hold to a field goal here. Nice job from the defense as the boot through the upright, 16-3. In Colorado State, maybe you're thinking, hey, the offense is struggle, but do you got a chance? Well, you got a first down here on third down. You can string together some stuff, but unfortunately, throws it right at a defender. Intercepted. Track him down at the 11-yard line. And this is where things could start to get out of hand. The backup running back checks in. He gets a touchdown. So stealing one from Waddy. But now all of a sudden you're down 23-3. And another pass, another pick. And Clemson with the interception again. And this time down to the 5. So 2 interceptions now. As with 4 minutes to play. Tack on some more points. Passing touchdown. It's 30-3. And Colorado State does not know what hit him right now as the quarterback ended up throwing another interception. The game got out of hand very fast, 33-3. Waddy goes for 1,100 yards and actually low touchdowns. It was the backup got 12, starter got 6. TJ Keene now, speaking of these backups who got a lot of touchdowns, he now has the starting role all in his hands, taking on Ole Miss as the #1 Indiana team is got his back going for 10. He's at 90 yards. Keep it on him again. They'll have a first down, so they're already up by 4, 12-yard line. Can they go up by 2 scores? As quarterback sacked. Had some time in the pocket, just stood there and ate it as a run now is going to lose them another 3, so now you're looking at a field goal probably. They'll just go safe with a draw, and the #2 back will get them a couple of yards. Just set up the field goal try, make it a 7-point game, and the kick is good, so Ole Miss, what do you got here? They've been, some main characters in this game so far from last video, and now this video, they've got some games that we're already spectating. I don't know what kind of sim Ole Miss got, but they are built kind of crazy early on. We'll see if that carries on throughout the year. And a first down into Indiana territory as they'll go to the 41 as a deep drop. Drag route coming across the field. He's got about 10. They rule him an inch shy. 2nd and inches. Handoff. It was a delayed give, and he stopped in the backfield, making it maybe a full yard, even though they still call it inches. And another tackle for loss. 4th and 2. Give it to him on the ground, and not going to happen 3 times in a row. First down is out from the 24. They got man through the middle. Give him 13 to the 11. As a read option, they were ready for both outcomes there as he only had a yard. 10 yards out, and he's hit as he's throwing. Ball into the dirt. Make it 3rd down and 9. As I don't love the call there, just a straight handoff to make it 4th down. I don't love the call, but we'll let it ride regardless. 17-13. They settle for a field goal with under 4 to play, so now they need a stop, and got plenty of time and timeouts to do it, but Indiana moved it well last time into scoring range. Can they do it again? 3rd down and 5. The line did a great job there, and they didn't have anybody open, though. And at least the quarterback could find. I would even say with the way they just demolished the interior, you could have tried to scramble for that, but he just wanted to throw instead. Ole Miss is going to get a try at this, and their quarterback, they know how to scramble. To the 39, 2.5 to play. Play action, quick slant, broken up, nice coverage, tight coverage. 2nd down and 10. Play action, and another one that's tight coverage. 2 defenders there, but he reels it in. 3rd and 1, and the pressure in hit as he's throwing, but the ball still hit his receiver's hands. He didn't get it. Read option on 4th and 1. They got the first down. 2-minute warning has hit. They throw screen out, but one receiver can't block 2 defenders. He loses a yard. 2nd and 11. Finds a man on the crosshair. Timeout, Ole Miss. 33-yard line, and another man, another double-digit yard, gain into the red zone, and looking for the lead now. Got him short, turns it upfield, and somehow falls forward for 12. 1st and goal, back at the handoff, and one man was there to stop him, or else that would have been a touchdown. Screen, that's not going to work. Good thing that he dropped it, saved them a couple of yards. Swing on 3rd and goal, and it's 4th down now. Under 20 seconds to play, and Ole Miss back in the end zone. Touchdown! Come on, guys. You did such a good job on the first couple of downs, but you left it wide open to the back of the end zone, and now the end of game, you need an 81-yard touchdown, and he actually does catch the Hail Mary, but he's over 30 yards shy, and that'll do it. Really unfortunate as Keene goes for about 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. And Waddy goes in the first round. He was an 89 overall. Keene gonna stay. Tyreek Tuttle goes to Michigan. And Keene, +3 overall, still going to be a starter, so he can see if he can go for back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Nicholson at A&M gets a +5. He'll be a starter as well. Deacon Banks is actually going to stay at Ohio State. They're not going to have a third straight one transfer. And Tyreek Tuttle, elite dev, and I really like his skill set because he's also got the catching stuff too, as next one up, elusive bruiser. So we're getting a nice mix of all the skill sets and all the archetypes here as we go to the playoffs. And Indiana, once again, is going to have a matchup against Ole Miss. Deacon Banks, 470 yards, only 3.3 a carry off the bench, so a little rough there. And A&M has a bowl game against Memphis, so Nicholson is going to be the back here against Memphis. 15-10 your score right now as Memphis is leading with the ball at about midfield. They'll get 2 more. 3rd down and 4. Check it down and not going to get it. 4th and 1. This is a good go for it spot, but they don't do it. So they'll punt away and pin him inside the 10. Nicholson's not had a great day. 10 carries, 30 yards in the end zone. He'll drop back and throw for 4 to get the lost yards back, but now 3rd and 10. Stepping up and hitting a man open. And there's about 20 on the play, so it's not been a good day for the A&M offense. No passing touchdowns. Nicholson averaging just 3 a carry, but that's a great throw and catch to get him to the 49. Draw. Nicholson has got 3 more, so right on his average for the game. As he picks up a block there, hey, that's going to be something we can also pay attention to. These guys going to translate to the NFL. Can you block when your quarterback drops back and pass? He did a good job there. And he hit a block again, but they were swarming on that one. 2nd and 14. Handoff Nicholson. And Nicholson can't find any room. No gain. 3rd and 14. As he'll step up. Throw on the run and incomplete. Settle for a field goal, as the kick is good to make it 15-13 in this low-scoring game. But if your defense can get another stop, set you up in a nice spot, you can maybe go and win this game 16-15. Wouldn't be flashy, but a win will be a win. As an incompletion, there you go. That's a 3 and out in less than a minute. Nicholson on the carry, and he just has not been able to get a big one so far. Not throughout this game, and nothing that we have watched. Now swinging out to him in the backfield. Take another 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 2. Nicholson got the first and just getting a consistent 4 yards every play now. As the throw, open man underneath in the hitch. And they got a first into Memphis territory. 2.5 to play. This is a really good spot if you can keep it moving, and they do. Backup running back's got a catch of the 25. Just run this thing down to maybe the 2-minute warning now. As they'll go outside. No, he missed him. That would have been a touchdown. 2nd and 10. Bubble screen. And we'll go to the 2-minute warning with a 3rd down and 9 from the 24. Play action. I don't know what the heck that was, but it'll be 4th down. And the kick is through the uprights. And that'll be 16-15. So now can Memphis go and get a field goal drive of their own? As that's a deflection. Nice coverage to undercut that one. 1:45 to play. Stepping up, and he's going to run. And gets off one man. Gets a couple extra because of it. Makes it 3rd down and 2. So a nice job to get a couple there. 3rd down, though. Running back was open for a moment, but he'll scramble. He'll get more than enough. Give him 23, and now they're just so close to field goal range as Memphis burned their first timeout. Screen gets them 8. I would say maybe 5 more yards, and you're a little comfortable about a field goal here, and that's 6 yards, and give them even another 2 on 1st down. Under a minute to play. Give them 5 more. As 3rd down, they're not able to get another first, but I mean, look at the time. You've already run out so much clock. 15 seconds. Kick is good through the uprights. And now it's 6 seconds to play. I mean, a 76-yard touchdown, thrown up in triple coverage. It's incomplete. And there is your game. Just the offenses were a bit of a struggle. Nicholson just 2.8 a carry. Didn't have a bad season, though. 1,100 yards. A lot of 1,100-yard seasons. It kind of seems like the bar right now as we get a little rematch from last year. Indiana, Ole Miss. How about another Ole Miss game? We're not even having prospects commit to them right now, but we're still watching them. That's not Keen. That's the backup running back. Lewis getting a carry. Now Keen in. He takes the ball. We'll get 4 on the play. So 9 carries on the day. Not a whole lot. Make a carry number 10. And he loses yards. Just 4 on the day for a yards per carry average, which is fine, but now 4th and 1. This is a good go for it scenario. You're up by 7, and you got the first down. You could have maybe kicked the field goal to make it a 2-score game, but they want that touchdown to continue running some clock. Keen is putting his head down and getting another 6. 2nd and 4, draw. Keen got the first. Goal to go from the 2 now. Can they punch it in? Keen is down at the 1. That's it. It's about the half-yard line. Toss it out. Kane, stiff arm. Can't get there. 3rd and goal. I-form. Toss it out. Kane finally in. Touchdown, Indiana. 21-7. And they took an effective amount of time off the clock. About half the quarter gone already now as Ole Miss is at 3rd down and 9. 5 to go, and diving attempt, but he can't bring it in. 4th down and 9, you gotta go for it here. And with the game maybe on the line, throw it up deep. 1-on-1, incomplete. Good coverage, didn't even have an inch of separation, and now Keen runs them to the 12 with a gain of 12, and they can go up by 3 scores, get their win, as Keen got another 2. They're riding him to the finish line in this one, as he's got another carry for 3. 3.5 to play. They'll run it again. Kane will set up 4th and 3, and they'll go with the field goal try, but that's going to give them a 17-point lead, and Ole Miss can't really do much about it. Game will end with a 3-score victory, and now on to the next one, taking on Oklahoma here. 16-10 your score, but the problem is Oklahoma's got it inside the 5 to start the quarter, and to go up by 2 scores these into the end zone, so Oklahoma puts them in a hole here with 9 to play. You're not going to see a whole lot of running, I'd imagine, from at least the running back, but a design QB run gets them a nice play. Is Keen on the carry, and no gain. He's actually been pretty solid, 40 yards on just 7 carries, but not a lot of attempts, and he loses 2 on the grab there. 3rd down and 2, as they send him in down the middle, and it's broken up. They'll punt it away, and Oklahoma now in a real prime position. They can get into their clock control, ball control offense, and if you find a field goal in the drive, it would still be a 2-score game, but now having to add the extra, layers of getting 2-point conversions if they want to pull off a comeback, as he turns around off the grab, gets upfield, and run it all the way to the 19. And this one's looking a little rough for Indiana, as they got the playoff win this year, but a touchdown, Oklahoma. It was wide open. And a 3-score lead now. As can Indiana do anything about it? With under 5 to go, it would take a whole lot. But throw it outside, picked off on the screen. Oh my goodness, man. Oklahoma with the run. Add on more. Touchdown. And a runaway in the 4th quarter. Okay, well that one ended abruptly. It was 16-10 to start. Keen, 5.7 to carry, adds another about 1,200 yards, goes in the 3rd round in the draft, so back-to-back 1,000s for him, and a nice draft position. Apaya commits to Tennessee. Nicholson still starting now at Texas A&M with a +5 overall jump. We'll have Deacon Banks with a +5, but he's still on the bench for now. And then we have Tyreek Tuttle, +5, another +5, but he's starting at Michigan. And Apaya, impact dev. So, we've seen a lot of stars and elites so far. So, an impact we expect to see. Let's just hope we don't see any normals. Baraka Sun up next is a elusive bruiser. And Michigan, #1 seed, as Deacon Banks off the bench, even got to play a little bit more due to injury. 700 yards, 10 touchdowns, but again, was the backup. As we head over to A&M in their bowl game. And I do wonder what's going on here. How are you losing to Rice? Texas A&M. It's 16-13 as the run off the RPO. Keeper for the quarterback, and he's got a big run to the 36. But Nicholson, have you been having a good game? Well, he just stumbles outside there, and the rain really making him slip around. He's got over about 4 yards of carry, so they'll get a carry here and get only one. 3rd down and 1. As can they all do a tie as Rice's defense chasing, and that's good defense. 4th down, they will settle for the kick and the tie. It is good. So a 16-16 game with 8 to play. Rice's QB with a keeper, and he doesn't look all that mobile, so he only gets a couple on the play. 3rd down and 6 as he'll move and throw to the back and not get the 1st down. No gain. A&M takes it back over with 7 to play. Nicholson is not going to get anything. He loses a yard on the play. 2nd down 11. They clear out the backfield and for a throw. Gets a man over the middle. Slips in the rain, but he gets the 1st down. Holds onto the ball, and they can hand to the backup running back. And it's the backup back with the 18-yard run. Nicholson back in. He takes the carry. He fares better and runs through the defense for another 14 on the play. So back-to-back good runs. Then a slant over the middle, down to the 2, and they're starting to look like they're the better team, which, I mean, they should be kind of dominating here. It is just Rice after all. As they hand off, Nicholson in, touchdown untouched. And they got the lead now, so this is more what we expected. I thought it'd be kind of crazy to lose to Rice as the defense gets a sack now. 3:20 to play from their own 11, 2nd and 15. And Short breaks a tackle. We'll set up for a 3rd down and 9. Gettable but not ideal as they send the extra man. Pressure in, broken up on the outside. The 4th down, they put it away, and A&M can try to end this as they get a read option for a loss of 2. Now go to Nicholson. He's going to get 3. 3rd down and 9 to try to put the game in their hands. Scrambling and makes a move. Gets around for the 1st down. And they can end it with one more 1st, and there's it, the 1st down on that play. They gave him a little bit of a generous spot there, I think, but they got the 1st. They got the win, and Nicholson just shy of 1,000 yards this time around, but he did get 13 touchdowns. So let's move over to Michigan. Tyreek Tuttle is looking like he could be actually a really awesome back. He's starting early in his career. He had really good athleticism stats, and he just needs to kind of get the moves up or the power, whatever way he decides to go, because he is a backfield threat. So, you know, maybe he could also be a receiving threat, though, like I said earlier on, the receiving production from these backs is not too great as Tuttle on the carry. Tuttle breaks a tackle and getting 7. He's at a great 11 carries for over 100 yards. And there's another 14 on the play. He's averaging just under 10 a carry. And Tuttle loses 2. So now 2nd down and 12. Give it to him again. As Michigan, they're already up by 10, so they don't need anything crazy here. They just need to hold the line. And now a throw is incomplete, but they did knock it down to 7 minutes to play. Pin Houston all the way back at their own 20-yard line, and the ball is incomplete on their first pass of the drive. Michigan had that 1 seed, 13-0, the odds-on favorites to go and make it to a national championship here. As 3rd down and inches hits, and Houston, keeper of the quarterback, he's got the 1st down. The 33-yard line now, a 2nd down and 9. The handoff. He's met, and he just could not run through that wall. 3rd down and 6. As they'll have time in the pocket. Gotta get somebody. Throws it deep. And incomplete. One-on-one coverage, and it was broken up. 4th and 6. Blitz it in. Puts it up after getting hit. And incomplete again. This Michigan smothering, and then the throw, open, 35-yard touchdown, and Michigan takes a 3-score lead in the playoffs. We'll jump ahead a little bit to a 3-minute mark where it's 4th and inches, and they'll throw it in a tight, contested area, and it's caught. How about another 4th down? This one, though, 4th and 14. Take a shot to the end zone at the 2-minute mark, and it's caught for a score. So Houston does make it a 10-point game, and now the onside kick. Michigan is able to recover, and that will be what should be your game, barring something crazy here, as that could have been the crazy thing. He fumbled the ball. Imagine if Houston recovered that and took that all the way and was able to keep timeouts, and you know, that would have been wild. But a 4th down, they do end up booting through a very long field goal. What is the kicking in this game? It is ridiculous, as Houston now is going to keep on trying. They're down 13 points now with 1:10 to go, but they are clawing themselves closer as that ball is caught in coverage down to the 2. And with 54 seconds to play, he'll scramble in for the end zone. It's a one-score game, and the onside kick is recovered by Michigan, so I wanted to not get too excited there. You know, the onside kick still had to go their way. It did not. Tuttle goes for 14 carries, 114 yards and a touchdown, and 90 yards after contact as well. We go to Michigan versus Pitt, semifinals game. Tuttle is going to have no gain on the play. They go jet pass. Tuttle not so great at blocking there, as Michigan, though, is up 14-9 as the throw. He's sacked. Loss of 9, they put it away, and Pitt gets great field position at the 42. They'll go to the 46 after that 4-yard gain, and they'll throw in the RPO. Quick outside into Michigan territory. It's been a low-scoring game so far, but Pitt, can they finally find the end zone as they'll get a receiver for 20, and it's at the 25-yard line, direct to the running back, and he gets a yard on the play. They're running it pretty decently. They just haven't really done a whole lot in the passing game when it comes to converting on key situations. Here's one of those key situations, 3rd down, and he's got just enough. That's the conversions that they need here, as the handoff is going to get them to the 8, but they've been settling for field goals. Can they convert? Can they finally cash in, as their keeper is going to get them to a 3rd and inches? Handoff with an opening, runs through a defender and into the end. So Pitt has taken the lead, and now with the 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game. And the traffic, how did he hang on to that one? 17-14 Michigan with time in the pocket, throws it up, and that's caught. The ball was not as well thrown as it could have been, considering the receiver had some separation, but he goes up and makes a great play. Tuttle on the carry, gets 5. Tuttle again, and gets another 1st down now, is already in the red zone. Go back to Tuttle, cuts it inside, gets him to 13 yards, and now 5 yards out. Tuttle, touchdown! Tyrick Tuttle. I mean, there was the one big pass play, but other than that, it was all Tuttle into the end zone, and Michigan immediately recaptures their lead. 3 minutes to play, and Pitt not going down easy here, is from the 36, finds the running back out of the backfield with a lot of room to the 41. And just let him roam free, as that a design rollout. Hit, and he couldn't get the ball off. It's a sack. 2nd and 18 with the drop and the throw short to the tight end, and that's not going to get him much. 3rd and 15. Screen for the back. Maybe just trying to set up for a better 4th down try, but still only 4 yards. It's 4th and 11. Not ideal. As he'll throw it deep. He wants it all. He's got him. Caught. Touchdown, Pitt! They got wide open! And how do you let that busted coverage happen? Michigan now down by 3 from their own 13, and they lose yards. Oh my goodness, they're back up at their own 10. They just need a field goal, though, and it's deflected. 3rd and 14. You don't need it all in one play, as they do get a chunk of it there. 9 yards. 4th and 5. Here's your game. It's got him open, and it's got him. Can he outrun the defense? No. Down to the 44, though, and they're close to field goal range, and that's going to put them in. 12 yards. They're in field goal range. Now will they take a shot for the win? And with an open man, gets the 1st down to the 17. And Michigan, 20 seconds to play, 1 timeout. Here's their shot. Incomplete. That was their shot. I don't know if they'll take another. No, they won't. Tuttle on the ground. They took their 1, and instead they'll just go, now that it didn't work, kick the field goal. We're headed to overtime. Great job on both sides to come up with some clutch conversions and big plays. Both of them, I think, are worthy of heading to the national title game. We start overtime, Michigan ball. And the throw over the middle is caught. Good coverage, better throw and catch. Tuttle on the ground, breaks a tackle. Tuttle, touchdown. And they got the lead in overtime. Can they hold off? Pitt throwing, and in coverage. This one broken up. 25-yard line, though. 2nd and 10. Hits the running back. They got the blitzing defender bait. It's all the way down to the 3. 22 yards, 1st and goal. And Pitt to the back. Turns off field and into the end zone. We're headed to double overtime. It's Pitt's turn to go first, and the run will go for 2. Pistol formation, play action rollout, gets rid of it before the pressure, and he's gonna have an incompletion. Third down and 8, and gets it quick, and that's not gonna be anything. 4th and 8, field goal is gonna be good, and Michigan can win it with a touchdown, or they can head to a 2-point shootout with a field goal. What will they do? As he almost takes a sack, but he got rid of the football just in time. 2nd and 10, they send the blitz, they get it out, breaks the tackle, first down to the 12. Incredible job to beat the blitz. They send it again, they beat it again, and they get just 2 this time, but better than a loss. Tuttle on the ground, Tuttle down, 3rd and inches. Come on for the game, Tuttle, no, tackle for a loss, and they'll kick the field goal. We're headed to a 2-point shootout. As spreading the field, Michigan in triple overtime now. Got it completed. 2 points is good. Pitt now to keep the game alive. They go ground. They got it. We're headed to a 4th. As Pitt, their turn, blitz in, running back, stopped. Michigan can win it here. Can they do it? Blitz from Pitt, hit it, and both teams' blitzes got in. 5th overtime, Michigan, and the roll, and sacked. Pitt for the win, to put it away for the title, and the throw. What a grab! That's game. Pitt wins it. Unbelievable Tuttle, 95 yards, 3 touchdowns to go with his 17 touchdowns on the season, but it's not enough. Nicholson goes in the 7th round. Baraka Sun, the next running back, he goes to Ole Miss. Deacon Banks will start at Ohio State, but I'm happy Tyreek Tuttle is back here with a +6 and ready to go back and try and go again, because he was good. Michigan was good. Pitt was just a little bit better that game. That was a really good one. Baraka Sun has impact dev and not going to start at Ole Miss early on. Nick Short, next running back. He is a bust, but, you know, it looks like he has some decent skills still. I like the change of direction. A lot of these running backs have really high change of directions despite not being like east-west playmakers, like elusive bruisers and stuff. But Tyreek Tuttle, first one on the board. Walker Award winner for the best running back in the nation. That's our first. Let's see if we can get more on the board, as Ohio State and Short, well, they got to take on Ohio in a little in-state bowl matchup, but yeah, this is what you'd expect from Ohio State versus Ohio. They were the 11th seed in the country, and they got left out of the playoffs. So instead, you're just taking out your anchor on a poor little MAC team. As the handoff again, Banks, 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns to put a dominant game out there where he runs for 4 as a whole, 57-13. Bangs had a really nice year, 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. So really good season from him. Let's head into the playoffs. Tyreek Tuttle now is looking to see if he could take his Michigan squad back to not only the semifinals, but go beyond and go to the championship, taking on Utah in the quarterfinals. 20-12, your score, end zone, touchdown Michigan. And a good start of the 4th, make it a 15-point game as Utah out of bounds. That pass incomplete. 2nd and 10. Dropping to throw as he'll step up, and that ball just goes to the ground. He kind of got caught in a lineman there. They said to blitz on 3rd. He gets a completion, breaks a tackle, but not going to get the first. 4th down, they punt it away, and that's kind of dangerous because he got Tuttle on the edge. There goes Tuttle. Nice blocking. Can't outrun the defense. Tuttle down to the 9. Big run from Tyree. Goal to go. What has he got now? Tuttle runs through a defender, and he's not the most powerful of guys, but he showed some power there. This time tackle for a loss, though. They'll have to settle for 3. So unfortunately, they're not able to get a touchdown, with that big run being the main thing there, but they go up by 3 scores. They took some time out, and Tuttle gets 125 yards and a 30-12 victory here. 2 20-plus yard runs, including that big one. And now we head to the semifinals very quickly, where Michigan is now taking on Nebraska. 10-6, another low-scoring game. But Tuttle is going to have the ground game going for 9-10. He's not had a good game so far, but he'll get going in the fourth quarter. 16 more. Linemen are doing a great job as well here at Michigan. They got a disciplined D-line, offensive line, so we expect the trenches to be moving for Michigan. You got a running back like Tuttle. I don't know, maybe you can go on a championship run, much like how they did with Blake Corum, as they get inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. And that stat line looking a whole lot better, all fueled on this drive. This one no gain, though. 2nd and 10. Keeper Nebraska for a loss. 3rd down and 13. They'll go to Tuttle, and they're just content. You know, it's a low-scoring game where Nebraska hasn't found the end zone, so they're fine taking their field goal, making it a touchdown game, and making it so Nebraska has to score at least a touchdown if they're going to want to win this game. They're going to need to score a touchdown and then some, as with 5.5 to go, the throw over the middle's caught, and they'll get to the 43-yard line, just under 200 yards passing as a team, as they will step up. Protection was good. Throw is good. Defender made a nice play, though, to draw that ball out. 2nd and 10. Protection holds up for a moment. He gets rid of it, though. I think he actually had a lot of room if he just moved to the right and even tried to scramble for it. 3rd down and 10, though. He'll just stay and find the man this time over the middle, where he will not have it jarred out. 4.5 to play from the 35. Finds a hitch route where he breaks a tackle after the catch. Gets another man down on the ground. And a 3rd. What a run after the catch. Hard to tackle tight end. As play action. Get into the tight end again, but he'll lose 2. That was a crazy play as they'll throw on 2nd and goal. End zone. Touchdown. Nebraska finally finds it. 13-13. 4 minutes to go. Michigan, will it be another heartbreak in the semifinals, or will they find a way this time? Floating it, their tight end makes a play, and he'll get into the 40. Just now, maybe 20 yards away from field goal range. Finding Tuttle out of the backfield. Remember, he can catch a lot better than all the other running backs that we've had in this video. Is Tuttle on the ground for 3. Really right on that line of field goal range, and Tuttle makes it more comfortable with another 5. 2-minute warning as they turn, hand to Tuttle, but he's down, and they're gonna punt the ball. Just didn't have the range for the kick, I guess, as that punt, look at that one, it got him all the way to the 1-yard line. What a punt, because it gets him a safety. Did I just watch a potential game-winning safety in a college football playoff game? Tuttle, 1st down will end it. Here he goes, outside Michigan. They're going to the national title, and Tuttle pads on a nice run. A game-winning safety. Tuttle for 108 yards. And Michigan to the national championship. Tuttle had like 70 yards just in the 4th quarter there, so a really good performance from him in the big moments. Now taking on 15-0 Boise State. Michigan was the #1 team despite taking a loss, but Boise State also had a 1st-round bye and has been dominating their way here. It's 21-16. Michigan on top of Boise with the ball in the handoff. Boise not getting anything. He'll get just a 3rd down and 2 as a throw with a 4-man rush. Scrambling. He could have ran for it, but instead he throws it. Has the completion. Michigan's defense, once again, has been pretty good. 150 yards allowed in the passing game. No touchdowns, and that's just a flat-out drop. That is brutal. The run, though, will get him 3 more, but that drop is just awful. Speed option, and it's a fumble! Fumble scooped up! Taken all the way! The defense does it again for Michigan! Game-winning safety, and now a 2-score lead on a scoop and score! 12-point game with 7.5 to go. And just Michigan do it with defense and running the ball. As Boise, Chase sacked! Loss of 10. 2nd and 20. And he'll get the sack yardage back and then tack on another 2 on top of it. Make it 3rd and 8 as they send the safeties down on the blitz. And he'll get a completion. Breaks the tackle. And outside he goes. Can he outrun him? No. to the 29 though, in a big game that Boise needed. They need to find the end zone soon, and they're getting to the red zone now. 13-yard line, handoff, and down for a gain of 3. It's just been steady 3-yarders from the run game as the passing game breaking off a defender, jukes another, and it's going to be golden. Go from the 2, and the keeper, hey, he's down at the 1. Boise needing 1 yard. He's got it. We're at a 1-score game now, and can Boise State pull this one off, or will Tuttle put the dagger in him? Tuttle! It's 9 yards. It's going to be all up to him. This is what Michigan has a guy like him for. Tuttle got a first down. He won the best running back in the nation for a reason. He had 100 yards in the first playoff game, 100 yards in the second playoff game, and looking for more in this one. It's 3rd down and 11, though. They're going to need the air game to do it here. And the throw got the first. One more will end this. Tuttle, carry. He'll have 3. Tuttle for the game. No, they'll go snap to the quarterback of the draw. Get some 5 more. Lean on your back now. Draw. Tuttle not getting it. 4th and 3, though. They're going to go for it. They're going to end it here. They do. And oh my God. That is a despicable play. I know you just lost the game because you got beat, but you did not need to try to break his neck like that, man. Oh my God. Tuttle, national champion, runs for 1,700 yards, 15 touchdowns, and I think he should have been a first rounder, but he goes in the 2nd round. That's a steal for whoever drafted him. Baraka Sun transfers to Georgia. Deacon Banks transferred after a season at Ohio State, which he was really good, but he goes nowhere. And trust me, I looked. Deacon Banks. There's only one Banks in the league at running back, I should say. It's Jalen Banks. That ain't Deacon. He's gone. Nice job to run for 1,300 yards and then disappear, I guess. It's fine, I suppose. But Baraka Sun will be a +3 on the bench. Nick Short, the next back, goes to Alabama. He's got star dev. But Kevin Hyman up next, and look at the speed on this one. 97 speed. The acceleration needs some work, but 97 speed is awesome. So we'll see if that's going to end up being the fastest back, as we got a bowl game here. A&M, not their first back of the video. They had Nicholson earlier. Now they got Apaya as they're taking on Army. They are 10-3, so they did lose the SEC title game that knocked them out of the playoffs. So this is a good A&M team, but just not quite enough after losing in that SEC title game. It would have been nice to see them in the playoffs, but instead they're taking on Army. They're using both of their backs. This is not Apaya, this is the backup getting the carry for 7, and he'll stay in the game to get another carry on 2nd and 3. So I'm not trying to see no backup running back. I want to see the main guy here. As a 3rd and inches direct to the quarterback, and he's got the first down. 7 minutes to play. As the handoff, and it's once again still the backup in there, so I don't know if Apaya, is he healthy right now? Like, what's going on here? I'm pretty sure he is healthy. I check for injuries all the time just in case. We've been, on the better side of injury luck in this video so far. We'll jump to the next 3rd down, though, where their backup running back's still in the game, and, well, he's going to lose yards. He's got 10 carries for 21 yards. Maybe you should have Apaya in, as the field goal, though, is good. You're still up 36-21, though, on Army with 4.5 to play. And almost an interception there, but somehow that turns into a big gain. That was a crazy one. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks for the Army quarterback. He's letting it fly outside, and that's going to be another nice gain there. Receivers got 10 grabs for 149. As 3rd down hits, they get another conversion. They're moving the ball really well. They still need a lot to go their way, though, from the 9. As he'll throw it into the end zone, incomplete. They'll jump to 4th down and 5. Needing a conversion here, or it's over. He'll move left, throw it up, and caught. Touchdown, Army. And that'll make it a 1-score game, where now Texas A&M takes over. First play of the drive. They'll throw outside, picked off, pick, and 6 for the defender. And Army now can tie the game with a 2-point conversion. What are you doing, man? Why are you throwing into coverage in that situation? For the tie, screen, he is in! We're tied up. You know what? This is what you get for having your backup running back in right now. As the ride on the jet pass, as he gets 27, so actually that's really nice for him, but we'll need a little bit more to get to field goal range. Something like that with a broken tackle past the 40 and gets out of bounds at the 38. 400 yards passing for their quarterback. Another screen as well. I mean, if it's working, why not? You can start to run the clock right now, as Army will probably start burning timeouts. You're in field goal range pretty firmly. Back up running back again. Dude, in a face mask. What? He must have gotten hurt or something. There's no reason. Because they've even, like, it's not even because he's like the shotgun running back. They've lined up with him in pistol. They've lined up with him in every formation, man, as he's going to go down where they eventually run it down to 1 minute to play, kick a field goal from the goal line, and have a minute to go for Army where they could try and pull something up here. 3rd down and 4. As they already were able to come back down 15. He's taking a shot deep. It's incomplete. 4th and 4 with the game on the line, and Army is done. That is a disgustingly bad throw as this game ends. So Apaya did play. He must have gotten knocked out during the game. He had 13 carries for 57 yards, but yeah, that's the only bowl game I really have to report on. Nick Short transfers to TCU. Heisman goes to Ohio State as Apaya started here with a +1, so he should be NFL bound, though. Baraka's son +5, and he'll be starting at Georgia. And for Nick Short, he actually doesn't go to TCU. That's like the second time TCU's been lied to like that. Hyman is at Ohio State with elite development, though. Quincy Trulock up next, and he's a bust north-south receiver, as he's got, you know, nice catching, okay athleticism, not really anything crazy. We haven't seen a whole lot of, like, wild, like, juke or spin moves from our players. So let's get into some bowl action, though, where Ohio State absolutely demolishes BYU. It's Short runs for 142 yards and a touchdown. So really unfortunate. Hyman went to Ohio State thinking there'd be an opportunity for him, and then Short, you know, untransfers from TCU and then goes to Ohio State, so Hyman might end up transferring. Ohio State's already had a lot of movement from these running backs, but in another bowl game here, as Apaya is taking on a Louisville squad. They're up 30-17 right now, though, as Texas A&M a little bit of a fall off, as 6-6 after an SEC championship appearance last season, and we'll see if Apaya actually can get some carries this time around, as Louisville with the ball outside and complete. 4th down, they will go for it, still down by 2 touchdowns, needing it and taking a shot outside. It's caught, and there's a flag down. So I mean, it's not gonna matter anyway, so you know, pass interference, they'll just, you know, take their catch, take it down to a 2nd and 2, where he's gonna get a 1st down there in the red zone, trying to make it a 1-score game. Speed option, pitch it out to the back. He's got room. One man tracks him down at the 1. 1st and goal, long drive, but they get the touchdown to make it a 1-score game. And can we get our boy some carries now, as I think he's out there now, and he's going to step up, though, after a throw. And yeah, Paya, number 33 with the star under him, he's finally there, as I'll go with a little bubble. It seems like they just want to throw it all the time, though. He's close to the marker. They'll give him the 1st down. And finally a carry, and he's just swarmed and only gets 2 yards. He's got 8 carries on the game. They'll go another bubble screen. Man, this Texas A&M offense, is this really what you'd be doing every time? Just screen after screen after screen. 3 yards there for Apaya. How about another carry? Here we go. That's a little bit of room, and there's double digits on that one. 2.5 to play. They'll run the clock pretty effectively, and that's finally some verticality on the offense. One more should be able to do it for 1st downs. Louisville out of timeouts, as they will get 1 yard, 3rd down and 6. As he spins off a tackler, close, 4th and inches. They're going to go for it. It's a bold call, and they'll swing it out. He's got the 1st, and that will be your game. A&M wins their bowl matchup. And Apaya gets 88 yards on 14 carries, gets 1,000 yards on the season, so a step back year as he averages 2 yards less roughly per carry. But let's go to some action here in the playoffs. Georgia, Baraka's son, is the back for Georgia right now when they're taking on Colorado. They're down 20-7 right now, though, and Colorado also has the football, so not good stuff here for the Bulldogs. Maybe they can pull something out, though, especially considering like they are the better team on paper right now. Is a loss. Their running back for Colorado's not doing too hot right now. 12 carries for under 30 yards as he'll throw a deep pass, and that is a pass interference. Definitely could say with the games that I've played and also the sim, there's more pass interference, which, you know, you could kind of determine if you think that's a good thing or not as Georgia with the sack. But I'm all for more like realistic implementations of penalties just for the sim aspect of it. But, you know, other people just hate watching games with any penalties, which is why they're so low on the, you know, the tuning of it is always just so like really unrealistic. That and injuries. Like for me, I'm like, I'll crank up the significant injuries, crank up the penalty stuff to give it a little bit more of a real game experience. But, you know, maybe that's something we'll just keep on tuning. My big issue, though, with the injury stuff, I will say, there needs to be an injury duration slider. There's injury sliders, but all the injury slider does is just make it a bunch of, like, a lot of extra just nothing injuries. I want, like, an injury severity slider so we can have more, like, season enders, more multi-week injuries. Like, I literally will be playing games where it's like we get 5 injuries in a game, and nobody will be like out for any significant period of time, and that happens like every game, which I think needs to be kind of tuned a little bit. But Georgia, I'm kind of talking through their comeback attempt here because they're just moving it down the field. Nothing crazy happening right now, but they are in the red zone now, scrambling and diving to the 4. Nice run for the quarterback as they'll go handoff, and the other running back is gonna get to the 1. Sun back in, and he's in for the touchdown. So they need the 2-point conversion, though, to get this to a 1-score game. As he'll throw outside in the flats. He's got it. 2 points is good. So now Georgia, maybe they could pull this one off. They're down by 8. And with 3.5 to go, Colorado with the pump fake. He'll step back, find a man short of the line, but it's 3rd down and 3. As they'll throw, blitz sent in, it gets in uncontested, and it's a sack. Georgia's got the ball back with 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning on their side. This can happen. They just need to find the end zone and get the 2-point conversion on top of it. 2-minute warning hitting after this play. Sun just pushes a defender to the ground. As now, from the 45, after a first down, he got him in. Caught. He is gone. Touchdown, Georgia. And can they get the 2-pointer for the tie? And they still have time on the clock if they don't get it. As the 2-point try, he's moving, throwing, caught! 2 points is good. We're tied up from 16 down to a tie game. 90 seconds to play. Colorado got 16 yards. And their offense needs to wake up a little bit to get into field goal range to try to survive, just escape. And that ball right into the ground. If the defender were a little bit more heads up, maybe he could have picked it. 2nd down and 10. Quick shot for 7. Will be a minute 08 to go. As from the 47. He'll move. He'll get sacked, though. And Georgia's got the ball back. And Georgia screamed. They just tried something quick. He loses 6. Now down to 24 seconds to play. So Georgia throws it up top. Caught. He caught it for 30 plus 18 seconds. Can Georgia find a way as he's running, throwing, caught, and down for the 43-yard line. They're going to try it from 60 yards. This is their shot to pull the comeback off a 60-yarder. It's good. It's good. A 16-point comeback and a game-winning 60-yarder at the buzzer. Just insane, man. We'll go into a game against Michigan now, where Georgia's up 27-24. Michigan undefeated. They got the ball. They'll be throwing it out of bounds here as they avoided the rush. 2nd down and 10. Michigan stepping up, running. He's got space for a 1st and more, diving at the 32-yard line. So still long ways away for a score, but that'll get him even closer right around midfield. Handoff. No Tyreek Tuttle, but they still got a good rushing attack nonetheless. 9 carries for 53 yards for their back. So go to keeper. And Georgia ready for both. 3rd down and 3. Man in motion. Dropping. And stepping up. He'll shed a sack. Run, and he's got a lot of him, slides for 22. And that sack miss is gonna pick up pay as he gets to the 3. Could have gotten him off the field. Instead, a helicopter is at the 1. They almost dove into the end zone there. And they'll try again. This time, he does get in, but wow. That, like, one little shed sack miss, like, just changes everything. And now Georgia's down by 4. Look at him making moves, though. Oh, my goodness. He's on the run all the way to the 22. One little screen, and he just takes it all the way to the red zone. As 5.5 to go, just over. As they'll get it short, broken up, 3rd down and 8. They'll surprise Michigan with the run. Gets the edge. Inside the 5, down to the 1. And not a punch. In. Touchdown, Georgia. And this rushing attack, Georgia uses multiple backs. Sun is just one of 2 backs that they use. So, I mean, you'll be seeing the rotation between number 8 and number 2. So, you know, Michigan down by 3 again. Breaks out of another sack. They can't get him down. He got 7, and he should have lost yards. 2nd and 3. As he gets 2 on the play. 3rd and 1. It's a long one, but he does have it. Runs through a defender. And that's Michigan using their multiple running backs as he gets the jet pass, and that is just terrible from him. I don't know what he was doing there. 2nd down to 12 off play action, though. He'll take a shot. Wide open! Touchdown, Michigan! No one even close. As Georgia back down by a score. Draw play and get some 5. As we'll see which running back they try to lean on more as there's a 1st down run as they go near the 2-minute warning. And he'll take a shot. Deep ball. And it's an underthrown ball and incomplete. No flags either. Underthrown deep balls are your pass interference drawers. As a sack now. 2-minute warning comes in. 3rd and 18. Georgia, can they pull another wild one out? Hey, sacked again. It's 4th and 19. Georgia, what do you got? He'll take the shot. Deep ball and incomplete. Michigan, to end it now, needs just a 1st down. And the handoff, he's going to get through. And there's the 1st. Georgia, not enough. As Sun goes for 55 yards on a touchdown, gets 20 touchdowns on the season and just over 1,000 yards. Paya goes in day 3. Kevin Heisman is joining the Georgia backfield, and now we got something pretty crazy here because Heisman went from Ohio State transferred. He's got 97 speed, and what a complimentary skill set. You got an elusive, not as fast back, and then you got the speed demon Kevin Heisman. And Georgia, he's the number 1, and Hyman's the number 2. Sun the 1, Heisman the 2. That's going to be pretty crazy because what I didn't show you is Georgia, their other running back, number 2, who we've seen a decent amount of. He also ran for 1,000 yards. Dre Kronk is the next back. He's a gem, but there's a lot going on here as Georgia is unfortunately not able to make a playoffs, though. They went 10-2. And instead will be taking on Penn State. That's really disheartening because that running back duo is going to be so much fun. We still get another year of it, barring transfers or early declares or anything like that. We still get another year of it. But, man, I mean, Georgia's rushing attack is really balanced. Like, that's one thing I've noticed. If you're looking for, I guess, like a playbook that utilizes 2 running backs pretty equally in sim, Georgia's rushing attack will get like both running backs if they're good and equally splitting carries will get them like 1,000 yards. So like, you know, that's just one thing I've noticed, whereas a number of other playbooks are very much like, you know, if he's starting at all the starting spots, all the running back roles, it'll just be him getting all the carries. But I like this 2 running backs, 2 number 1s on Georgia, and both of them getting opportunities. The issue here is, well, they didn't make the playoffs, and not only that, they're losing by 10 right now to Penn State in the bowl game. This is 2 of the best non-playoff teams going at it. Both of them double digits, both of them top 15, both of them left out, and both of them probably really mad that they were left out. But Penn State's looking like they're the ones on top in this one and showing that they deserve to probably be in the playoffs a little bit more as Georgia gets a sack, though. Needing to get off the field here with just over 4 minutes to play. Speed option, and he'll go down for just 2. 3rd and 17. And the throw, stepping up. He'll scramble and maybe just get a little bit extra for field goal range. Kick is up, and a long one is good. So 22-9 your score. So you're going to see the passing attack do their job, but I don't know how much they're really going to do with how bad the offense has been. That's a nice move made as he gets 17 on the scramble. But Georgia needing in the end zone and needing to hold on to their timeouts along the way as well as a blitz sent in. And he'll go one-on-one outside, caught another first down. Hurry back to the line. Snap, throw, and turning and ball into the dirt after getting hit. 2nd and 10 as he'll step up and fire one about the 20-yard line. There you go, red zone opportunity. Last play before the 2-minute warning. Penn State sends 4 as he steps up again and he'll look to run again. He's got room. He's got a first. And they'll be at the 8-yard line. This has been a really well done drive. It's just a matter of can you get it done? Sack, 3rd and goal, and needing the end zone. What do you got? And it's broken up. 4th and goal. Last chance for Georgia. End zone. Put it up. It's incomplete. And that is a disgusting flag, I think. Come on. That's just not. No. 1st and goal from the 1. And he doesn't get it. And they hold on to that timeout. That's what they should do. 2nd and goal. As he doesn't get it again. This is just ridiculous. They can't punch it in. 3rd and goal. He'll run. He's in. 46 seconds to play, though. You took way too much time. You still have all of your timeouts, which is good. But does it even matter if Penn State is able to either get a first down or get a field goal? And the run is the first one's going to get the first. And that will do it because not only do they get closer, they get easy field goal range. And not only that, they will just throw it in for a touchdown to win the game. So that's honestly a really disappointing season overall from Georgia. Sun runs for 11 yards. Heisman doesn't do much. So Sun gets 900 yards, and Heisman did get kind of knocked out, though, is what I will say. The reason why his season stats aren't relevant or anything is because he did get hurt a bit, and, like, unfortunate, that he didn't get to play, like, the full season. I think what ended up happening there was he got hurt, and then their overalls at Georgia's running back room were so close that someone must have, like, leveled up, bumped up 1 overall, and just kind of took his job on the depth chart, I think is what happened, which is really unfortunate. But we're in the playoffs now. Ohio State is going to have a 17-14 lead on Notre Dame. See what Nick Short and this offense has. As you can see, the lineman getting into the second level. That's a nice bit of blocking there to get him a first down and a decent bit more. Is from the 39, the play action. Short gets a nice little block there as he lets the quarterback fly one down the field for an incompletion, but now back to Short on the ground, breaking a tackle, falling forward for 8 yards. He's averaging 5.8 a carry, and back to the ground, 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. Like the call, like the result. And he, in the rain, might have slipped there, but he got the catch, got the first. Play action now. Receiver came across the formation to bring that one in for 5, and now they'll go jet sweep to another receiver, and he'll get 2 more. 3rd and 3 to the air, and it's over the middle. That's broken up. Rain might have played a factor there. 4th and 3, and go for it, but he's sacked. And Notre Dame, that was a pretty nice drive, all for nothing, but you did take off like half the quarter, I guess, to the positives there. But now you need to stop Notre Dame from tying this game up or even taking the lead here. As 2nd down and 8, he gets a catch for 3. 3rd down and 5. Can he get away with a 3 and out as a wall coverage? Got the catch. Breaks the tackle. No! He's being chased by a linebacker, but he's not fast enough. Touchdown from 70 yards. And just one-on-one coverage, and just how quickly things can break as You get one tackle. That could have been really dangerous there if that was a backwards pass. But you break one tackle and you're just gone. You're gone, and now Notre Dame so quickly has flipped this into them being on top. I mean, a 4th down fail and then a 78-yard touchdown has literally been the defining 2 plays, but Ohio State could still make something out of this. Sure, they're running it well. They've been able to move the ball last possession and throughout this game as the throw to the flats caught. 1st down. They'll be at the 49-yard line as they'll go quickly on a bubble. And the Notre Dame defense was on it. 2-minute warning is hit. 2nd and 10. He'll throw for an open man in the 1st down. Field goals won't do him any good, though. You still need another 36 to find the end zone. And they've got a big chunk of it here. Give them 17 to the 19. Red zone chance. Ohio State's down a timeout. It's now or never. It's a sack. He loses 5. 2nd and 15. Steps up. Can he run for it? He's going to get the sack yards back, but that's all. 3rd down and 10, 40 seconds to play for the marker knocked out of his hands. 4th and 10 in the game. Ohio State's last chance. End zone broken up. Game over. And even though Ohio State was better, I feel like, for most of that 4th quarter, Notre Dame was better on the 2 most important plays. Dre Crunk also is going to go to Georgia. Oh boy, Georgia's now... Okay, the depth chart is literally now, number 1 is Baraka Sun, number 2 is Hyman, and number 3 is Kronk, and there's nothing interchangeable there. So we're going to see the full range of what this Georgia rushing attack can do. Kronk has star development, and he is a 77 overall. Brandon Stick, the next running back, East-West playmaker with 88 speed. Can't catch to save his life. And Georgia's got a 1st round bye. Here we go, as that'll be fun. So they actually lived up to the expectations of what we hope for this ground game. And Ohio State left out of the playoffs, 12th seed and a 10-3 record, a conference championship loss, but a touchdown there. They're up 31-14. I mean, look at this, though. 11 versus 12 in a non-playoff game. Like, that's just ridiculous, man. It's a 12-team playoffs, and 11 and 12 both didn't get in because of, the group of team getting in, and I guess some other team got in that probably won their conference, but, it is what it is. This is the 2 best non-playoff teams out there, so this is... at least a competitive one, but Ohio State's been in control. Florida, though, trying to find their way back in it, and the draw in, touchdown, Gators. All right, 10-point game with just over 6 to play. Hand off to Short, gets to the edge, and Short with a lot of room, and he's got 26 of the game. He's got 100 yards on the day, and he's adding to it. Short for another 1st down run. Give him another 17. Short on the ground again. 5 more. He's having a great game and a great drive. Adding on for a 1st again. They can't stop this dude right now. Just go back to him on a dive. And that's his worst run of the drive. Just 3 yards. And now a false start for Ohio State. So they'll get backed up to a 3rd down and long. So... all that could result in just a field goal, which would be fine, but it would keep it a 2-score game. They'll go short in the flats. They'll take their field goal, and Florida will have a very faint chance in this one, as it'll be a 13-point game. Can you find the end zone in the next maybe minute and hold on to your timeouts to give yourself a try? That's a nice start to your drive to get to the 49-yard line. They go option, and he'll keep it for about 9, so you're going to get one more play, it looks like, before the 2-minute warning, as he'll throw it deep, and one-on-one, caught at the 2-minute warning at the 3 now. Goal to go, moving right, he's sacked, and they really did not need that. 3rd and goal, he'll step up and run, he's got space, he's in, touchdown Florida, and now onside kick, but you have all your timeouts so you can get the ball back. It is possible. So can you get the stop? You haven't been able to stop the ground game all day, though. Short face mask to add on to it. That is just brutal. Yeah, I mean, you already allowed a lot. Now a touchdown, and there's your game, it looks like. You just couldn't stop the ground game of Ohio State at all, in the slightest. Get to 14 seconds left in the game where they will take a shot deep. They will get a touchdown. So, you know, the final of this one will be a one-score game. I guess if you can get an onside kick, you get a Hail Mary opportunity, but you won't get it. And we can move on. Ohio State wins at 41-35 and a 1,500-yard season, but only 4 touchdowns for short. So a lot of yards, but, like, not a lot of touchdowns, and, like, it didn't ultimately lead to any, like, great team success. You know, some solid, you know, placements here. But look at the running game now at Georgia. It's Barak Hassan with a great run, and let's see what this two-headed attack can do. Number 8, Barak Hassan. Number 20 is Heisman. Let's see what they got. Hassan on the carry. He'll get to 3rd down and inches. He's averaging just about 4 yards, just shy of 4 carry, but he's going to get nothing on 4th down now. They'll have to settle for a field goal. It's a big win for Florida State, though, to make it a, like, still 8-point game. They have their chance in this one, 1 score down as they get a completion for a first. Their quarterback's been brutal. 1 touchdown, 3 picks, and a speed option to lose 4. 3rd down and 14 from the pocket. Just great blocking. Got an open man and a big gain. As he gets to the 31 of Georgia. Read option now as he'll run for just 6. 26-yard line with 6 to go. Handoff to the back. Be 3rd down and 3. Could be decision time here if they don't get it, and they don't. 4th and 2, and yeah, I like it. Go for it here. This is the move, I think, as they will get a short. He hangs on for the 1st down, and it works out. Now, can they finish it off in the end zone? No, they can't. Fumble, and Georgia picks it up. And that's a just brutal outcome for Florida State, as Georgia now with the ball, with the lead by 1 score, and with that opportunity to really take out as much clock as they so choose. Can the running backs do it, or will they just go through the air the entire time? Their quarterback's going to scramble. He can move. He can run for a lot. He's already got 2 scrambling 1st downs now on this drive, and they're going to keep it in the air. He's sacked, though, and Florida State really needed that one. 2nd down and 18. Moving right. Throwing. It's going to be caught. Broke a tackle. Got the first. What a play. Unbelievable in Florida State now. This game might be over. Sun for the 1st down. 1 more to do it. Hyman got the touchdown. Game for Florida State, it looks like, is with under 30 seconds to go. The Seminoles will find the end zone for a touchdown, but ultimately still down by 1 score. Onside kick is going to be picked up by Georgia, and they'll move on to the Final 4, as Hyman doesn't do a whole lot other than score the touchdown. Sun got 58 yards on the ground, though, and they'll be taking on Michigan. So Georgia, Michigan, 13-1 versus 13-1. 28-24, Georgia ball, and a field goal try to make it a 1-point game. Kick is good, so it's just 1 point now as Michigan takes over with a run. And it's really going to be like whose rushing attack's going to do better and do more. 9 carries, 47 yards for the Michigan back. And adding on what carry number 10 gets 50 yards, so he's right at 5 a carry. 2nd and 7. With time in the pocket, he'll run. He's going to get a 2-yard gain before sliding. 3rd down and 5. They go read option, and with defenders all around, he doesn't get it, and now Georgia takes over. I would love for Georgia to run the ball more with these backs. Sun on the screen. Sun gets around the defender for 7, so a nice job to get 7 on that one. They go ground attack. Here's Hyman, the speedy running back, 97 speed. He's got 51 yards on the day right now. Georgia to throw. Deep down the seam. Got the grab. Breaks the tackle, gets free, and down to the 1. So close to the end zone. Handoff, Sun, he'll punch it in. Touchdown, Georgia. The 2-point conversion for the full touchdown lead is good. Michigan now down by a full 7. They go ground game. They get the first, and they got to the 39. There's 5.5 to play. As they go play action. Tight end short. Stiff arm. Puts a defender on the ground and gets the first. as their quarterback. I mean, you can see the stat line there. 4 touchdowns and no picks for the Michigan QB. So they've been on it. It's just not been able to get the stops on the other end defensively. So you shouldn't have to worry about Michigan's offense succeeding at least through the air. And their rushing attack has been pretty all right too. So speed option now. He tries to keep it, and they really should have pitched that one. 2nd down and 12. Screen for the running back. And I don't think he did the best job adjusting to that catch, but he still does end up getting 5. 3.5 to go. They go draw. Quarterback keeper makes a move and gets the first. What a job. 16 yards. 3 minutes to play. They're in the red zone. Pop pass. Finds a lane. Gets outside. Touchdown, Michigan. We're tied up now. And 35-35 with the extra point. Georgia now, what do they got in their hands? As Heisman is going to get 8. Can they get him or Son a big play? Here's Son on the ground as he breaks a tackle. 1st down and a gain of 6. So both running backs take a carry there. Now they just go jet to a receiver. He loses 2. 1:47 to go. As he'll step up, throw it deep ball, got a man to the 41. And now right around field goal range. Georgia steps up, moves into a sack, 2nd and 20. And now what do you got here to dig yourselves out of this hole? Well, 6 yards on 2nd down, 3rd down, and 14 with 50 seconds to play. Got a completion, breaks a tackle, gets the first. It might be it though. Flag down as well after the next play. Out of bounds, Heisman on the screen. And this is just catastrophic for Michigan. Roughing the passer. Making a cumulative 25 plus yards on the gain as they'll run. 40 seconds to play. Michigan can't really stop them. Son to this 4. 3rd and 4. They could go down here to kick it, but no, they get the touchdown. They could have kicked a buzzer beater field goal, but they instead opt for the touchdown with 30 seconds. That's probably the better outcome for Michigan. At least you get a chance in this. It's just a very small one. He scrambles for 4. That's a terrible outcome. Oh no, you got 17 seconds. You gotta hurry back to the line. 14, 13, 12, and the snap. They got a receiver up there blocking, floats into the sidelines, caught out of bounds with 7 to play. That sets them up for a Hail Mary now. 7 seconds to go. Can you get into the end zone? Throw it in deep. It's short, but there's a flag down. Nah, man. I mean, that's still, it just sets them up for another Hail Mary, but it looks like this one will be, it was about 15 yards short. And now it's 15 yards closer. You might have the distance. He lets it fly for the tie. It's caught. Touchdown, Michigan. Right at the goal line. They got it. And we're going to overtime. What in the world is happening in this one? Oh my goodness, a pass interference on the Hail Mary in the first time actually came back to mean something, and it gave him just enough distance. Michigan, can you pull it off? As he scrambles for the 1st down at the 14. Michigan, you're riding the momentum now. Can you get it done? He gets tackled for just a yard. 2nd and 9, hand off, breaks a tackle. He's swarmed though, just another single yard, 3rd down and 8. Michigan moving right. He's got to get rid of it. He's going to run, and they'll just have to settle for 3. Didn't like what he's seen. They'll just stay content with a field goal and hope they could stop him. But Georgia, can you survive with a touchdown here to move on? Because you were not expecting to even be here at this point. They shouldn't have even gotten to overtime. As throwing for a first, breaks a tackle, turns around. It's goal to go from the 7. 7 yards away from moving on. Gets it to the tight end. 2 more. He's got 10 grabs on the day as they send the pressure. Got it! End zone! Touchdown, Georgia! And even though Michigan got a Hail Mary at the buzzer, it did not matter. Heisman has the better day. Son got the 2 touchdowns. And the national championship is where you're headed to take on Oregon. 14-1 versus 14-1, two top 5 teams, and a one-score game where Georgia has it down by 3. Goal to go from the 8. Sun on the carry, and Baraka Sun, touchdown, Georgia! We'll take the lead. Up by 4, and now Oregon with the ball. Can they go and respond with a score of their own? Oregon's ground game, it's been pretty solid, you know, over 5 yards a carry for their back, but Georgia's ground game and their, you know, deep running back rotations, what's helped get them there, you know, all the way to the national championship to this point. Can Oregon overcome it as they are going to lose 2 on this new set of downs? 2nd and 12 now. So throw short, defender breaks on it and breaks it up. 3rd down and 12. Keeper for the quarterback who loses 2. Georgia's got the ball. Georgia's got the lead, and they got a swing for a 5-yard gain. Will they lean on these backs? Here he goes. It's Sun for 2. He's had only 6 carries, but 50 yards on the day, so he's had a good game. Just needs more touches, I think. And their quarterback, I mean, it's a 3-headed monster because their quarterback is an efficient runner as well when he gets moving. As they go jet pass, blocks from Sun. Hey, he didn't get the ball on that play, but he blocked his butt off there, and that's the type of stuff that, you know, the little things from these running backs that you want to see. Sun gets the 1st down, gets rewarded with his nice blocking. 1st and 10, scrambling, and defender was on the ground. He gets the 1st as Oregon can't stop anybody right now. It's Sun on the ground. Here he goes again. Makes a move and gets another 20. Sun, counter. Can he find the end zone? To the edge. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown. Sun with 2 in the 4th quarter to give him a 2-score lead. And the national championship could be headed back to Georgia. And these number 1 running backs, there's 3 of them on the roster right now. There's literally 3 on the roster. And all 3 of them could collect themselves a ring. One of them really is just kind of doing nothing because he's like a freshman sitting on the bench. But still, he can have a ring to him. Has 2 minutes to play. 3rd and 15. Sacked again. 4th and 23. With the game on the line. Throwing it deep. It's incomplete. And Georgia is just obliterating. Sun. More yards. And a 1st down to end this one. Sun goes for 100, Heisman goes for 43, and on the season, Heisman and Sun combined for over 2,000 yards and well over 20-plus touchdowns. Baraka Sun goes pro, goes in the middle rounds, and Quincy Trueluck is going to end up transferring to supposedly SMU. Oh my goodness, they got another one. Brendan Stick's going to Georgia too. Kevin Hyman is now the number 1 running back coming off a 700-yard season, which he was a big contributor of a national championship. Kronk is now the number 2 running back, so he takes over Hyman's spot last year. Trueluck doesn't go to SMU. He goes to Oklahoma to start. And Brandon Stick is going to be the 3rd string back at Georgia Star Development. So they got another one to just add to the rotation here. So everyone just kind of moves up a spot and they get a new freshman in. Georgia, number 1 seed, 13-0. And Hyman is an NCAA All-American running back. So no award for him. He was a finalist, but he didn't win it. Oklahoma, it was a very boring game against Rice, 21-10. So I didn't really bother showing it. Trueluck didn't even get any real touches in the 4th quarter. Rice just kind of dominated time of possession. Got a touchdown at the end to make it a 2-score game. Nothing really happened, so I wasn't going to bore you with that one. Georgia, though, let's get back to them. Hyman now the 1, Kronk the 2. As it's 31-17, can Georgia go back-to-back on the national championships with all these number 1 running backs? As they'll go swing it outside. There is Hyman. Just a little check down, concede on 3rd, make it 4th and long. They punt it away. They're up by 14 right now, so Tennessee still got a lot of work in front of them if they're going to pull this one off. And this works to Georgia's, 80 here. I mean, they're up by 2 scores, and you could just run the ball as much as you want with all these talented running backs. I mean, it's literally now still, once again, 3 number 1 running back prospects on their team. I don't know if all of them are going to end up, staying and producing, but Baraka Sun's produced. Now we've seen Hyman produce as a backup and a starter. We'll see if Kronk and Stick end up doing anything as the scrambling for Tennessee as they'll get 3 yards. Tennessee, screen outside. Nice block from the receiver, just bulldozed the corner as they're moving the ball, but, it's just a lot of time being taken here. Throw it deep, and oh my goodness, he had an open man Oh, he threw it to the wrong deep ball. Wow. All right, well, they still got it to the 13 here after that play, but man, you had an opportunity there. You really should score now to make it so we don't just harp on that one miss that you had. He gets it away out of bounds. 2nd and 10. They'll go short screen, and the blocking is set up nicely. He's close. It's 3rd and inches. They'll go handoff. He's not going to get it. 4th and inches. It all could be for nothing. Jet pass. He doesn't get it. All of that for nothing. And Georgia, do not throw the ball. You're sacked at the 2 now. Just run it. They get it to Kronk here. And here's Kronk for a 1st down. Dre Kronk, the next number 1, next in line, it feels like. I would imagine Heisman's probably going to go pro after this, and Kronk will be the starter. That just kind of seems like the natural flow of things here. So they're getting a 1st down. Tennessee burning timeouts. Another 1st down could very well do it. Kronk on the carry again. He's got 9. 1st down for the game. Kronk sails it. And Georgia moves on to the next round and the semifinals. Kronk goes for 64, Heisman for 70. Both of them got similar carry distribution as now Georgia takes on Indiana. A little bit of a different situation, though. You're not up by 14 like you were last time. You're down 20-13 and getting sacked on the first play that really just puts you in a hole for 3rd and 11. Get it, though, on the 1st down completion. As, yeah, you're now losing by 7 against a great Indiana team, and that screen, hey, they were ready for that one. You lose 3. You almost had a pick 6 on that one. Play action, step up and run. They're all over it, though. I think they might be a little bit more prepared for what this team does, which is a lot of screens and a lot of running of the quarterback, as they don't get anything on that screen either. So Indiana on it as they get the ball back and with a 7-point lead. Defense for Georgia. 2 stops on the 2 ground attacks as they go 3rd down and 9. Go underneath. Can he turn upfield to get it? No, not quite. 4th and 1. They punt it away. And Georgia with another try at it. You can't just be running these screens, though. Another just 2 yards. Another one? My goodness, man. Do something else. 3rd down and 5. At least give it to these talented backs as they'll go. There's Heisman. That's what more we want to see. It was in the passing game, but still, we'll just give it to the backs. Give it to Heisman. He's got the speed and getting the 1st down. Got 11 carries for 80 yards. Give him the ball more. He's producing. He's an NCAA All-American running back. He is a great player for you. As they go, Heisman again, and ran a little too far out in front of his blocker. 3rd down and 5, though, as the passing game. Do you have something here, or will he scramble? He will scramble. He's fighting, but not going to get it. 4th and 1. Big opportunity for the Indiana defense. He's headed incomplete. Georgia turnover on downs, and now Indiana is set up in a great spot, great field position, and they could end this game, whether it be winning a couple of 1st downs or just scoring any points here to make it a 2-score game. 3rd down and 4. Georgia, this is your chance, but he gets the 1st. Now they're in field goal range, and Indiana, just look at them carrying people for the 1st down. Georgia out of timeouts. One more 1st will end it. As he breaks a tackle, gets another 1, 3rd down and 8, and for the game, he gets the 1st, and Indiana's going to win it. Georgia goes down, and you can see the production here as Kronk goes for 711 touchdowns, and Heisman, it's about 1,700 yards and 19 touchdowns. Heisman goes in the 1st round. So once again, those running backs were doing great stuff. Gideon goes to Tennessee, the next number 1 back. Quincy Trueluck is still starting here at Oklahoma. And now we turn things over to Dre Kronk, who's the number 1 running back. And Stick has got some competition for the number 2 back. He's not the out-and-out number 2, so we'll see how much production he gets. Gideon, elite dev for Tennessee. And moving on to see Addison Beckner, the next back, 94 speed, 95 change of direction, and can't catch to save his life. Georgia, back in the playoffs, back against Indiana. Oklahoma in the playoffs, as Quincy Trueluck actually makes NCAA All-American, as he's just kind of been, fine so far, but like now kind of having his big breakout. And can he get Oklahoma far in the playoffs? Can he get them somewhere as they're taking on a 12-1 Memphis squad, as a snap to Trueluck is going to get them nothing to set up 4th down. 4th and 3, they're going for it. They are down by 5, so it's not the worst decision, but not a good outcome. Memphis now with the ball is try to expand on their lead at 12-1 here, the home field advantage. I have noticed, in my times doing, simming, I don't have. Actually, I do have a lot of hours on the game. I was gonna lie for a second. So I don't have a lot of time. I got like 80 hours on the game already, and all the seasons that I've sim, of all the group of teams, the American Conference, or for some reason, if the MAC has any good teams come out, like Miami of Ohio, like in the last sim that I did, Memphis seems to be like maybe the best of the bunch, them, Boise State, but Memphis goes crazy once you get kind of deep into things. At least that's what I've noticed. Maybe still small sample size, I don't know. Touchdown Memphis, though, as they have found themselves now up by 12, doubling up on Oklahoma's score. Oklahoma needs to get something going fast. They need 2 touchdowns, and yeah, that'll help you out right there. About 30-plus yards on the play, down the middle, and a completion for another 20-plus, and in the red zone you go. 5 minutes to play. End zone! 3 plays, and you got it all. Touchdown, Oklahoma, and a quick response. Now, Memphis, does that kind of mess with you a little bit? You go down the field, you score, you think you've got enough to get it done, and Oklahoma gets it all back in just a couple of plays. Is now Memphis scrambling, and it'll set up 3rd down and 7 with 4 to play. They drop back. They send an extra man on the rush. He gets hit as he's throwing, and it floats to a linebacker. Picked off. He wanted to send it deep, but it is just unlucky. And Oklahoma can take the lead here. There's Truelock out of the backfield, and he's going to get a first down to the 28-yard line. 3.5 to go. Give it to Truelock, and the All-American running back's got 10. 2nd and inches, screen, set up and drilled to the ground. 3rd and 3. That's a brutal loss. And now on 3rd down, it's incomplete. 4th down and 3. Suddenly you're in trouble. End zone. Double coverage and incomplete. And absolutely brutal as Memphis now can put this one away. And the 1st down and 1 more probably is all they need. 2nd and 4. Timeouts are gone for Oklahoma. To the edge. Step 4. 1st down. And there's your game. You had your chance if you were Oklahoma. Truelock, he didn't run for a lot of yards, but he had 20 touchdowns on the season, and that's what got him his All-American. As we head to Georgia, and they're, they no longer have Heisman, they no longer have Barack Hassan, but they still have Drake Kronk now as the out-and-out starter, and still another guy on the bench in Stick, who is also a #1 running back. So they're still wealthy on running back talent, so we're not have to worry about that. But can Kronk maybe live up to what the previous 2 have done? Because it's kind of been steadily getting better and better. Sun was really good, and then Hyman has an even better season. So can Kronk, is he, also up there having a 14, 15, 1,600-yard season, getting in the end zone 15-plus times? We'll see if that's what it looks like by the end of things here, as it's a 24 game Georgia. No first-round bye this time as an incompletion. We'll set up 3rd down and 10. Stepping up. And he's just running around in pressure, and it's a sack, and they'll have to punt it away as Indiana will now take over with the ball with a very good set of field position and a 2nd down and 6 from close to midfield. As they'll go, hand off up the middle, he's going to get 3, halfway home to a 1st, 3rd down. As they get him to again, he's at the line, they give it to a 1st down. That was close, but 4 minutes to play in Indiana. Inching closer. I think a 1st down would put him into field goal range. And they are taking a lot of time here. Big hit, though. And they end up getting nothing on the drive. So all that effort for naught. As Georgia pinned back now needs to go, I'd say, about 40-plus to get into field goal range on their own. But we've seen some pretty crazy field goals already in this video and in the other one with the quarterbacks. 60 yards. Seems pretty doable for a lot of these kickers in the game. I don't know if I got to adjust kicker sliders. I've never had to really do that much, other than the occasional little tweak, but maybe I got to, because ain't no reason college kickers should be booting 60-yarders like it's nothing, at least with distance. Accuracy is maybe a little spotty, but these kids got massive legs, but it's not going to take 60, it looks like. It's going to take a lot less than that. They're in the red zone, handoff, and finding his way through to the 11. They'll get the clock all the way down, kick a field goal. It's good. Georgia walks off with a first-round victory. Kronk 68 yards and a touchdown to move on to the second round where they'll be taking on TCU. See what Kronk has in this one as the handoff will go for just 2. It's not been a great game for him. Just 26 yards on 10 carries. A tip pass there and complete in the third down and 8 as Kronk is in the block. Just a 3-man rush. Pass along the sidelines. Got his feet down and caught as Georgia right now down 17-14. Pass incomplete. Got rid of it to avoid the sack as with 8.5 to go. Hits it quick and the defender there to meet him. Incompletion. Third down and 10. Clean and throwing for a receiver. He came back to the ball before progress. Got him the first down. Kronk on the carry. Gets 6. As that's probably one of his better runs of the game. Screen out as the number 2 running back's got it. And he'll get a first down. So 37-yard line man in motion, and they will go back to the air. Nice push from the D-line. Sets it up top. Deep ball off the hands of the receiver. Tough one to bring in. Third down and 8. They're in long-distance field goal range. He'll try to get the first on the ground, and he's got it. Lot more. Slides for 24. 13 yards out, and that is... guess they'll call that pass interference. That's a pretty cheap way to get yourself first down and goal. Now they're at the 2-yard line. Go with the handoff and down to the 1. Kronk can't get in. Second and goal. Keeper for the quarterback who loses yards. Third down and goal from the 3. And the screen is incomplete. Fourth down and goal, and they have to settle for the field goal. So they were not able to get in, even though they kind of, got a cheap first down and goal off of that penalty, as TCU is going to be in a tie game, 5 minutes to play, and a first down completion on the start their drive. Broken tackle on the read option. He'll get about 3 to make it third down and 4 as they send the running back on a route. Deep ball outside, caught for the first down. And out the 35, right in position to take that lead back as we are now under 4 minutes to play. As they send pressure in. Get it out quickly! Picked off by Georgia! And everything turns around with that one. TCU well on their way to taking time off the clock and seeing how much time they can get down before kicking their game-leading field goal. Instead, Georgia now has the opportunity to do the same thing to TCU. Get outside to the 49. Second and 3. So they go handoff and... Matt just close to the marker, though. It's a long yard. I'd say closer to 2, but they get it regardless. And now we're under 2 minutes to play, and they are in field goal range with that one. 8 more yards. It'd be 50 plus from here. Kronk, though, gets a first. TCU's going to have to start burning timeouts, it looks like, at some point, as they throw over the middle, and now it's a gimme field goal. They're in the red zone, as Kronk is going to get him inside the 5. They get it all the way down to the 1-yard line to kick a chip shot field goal for the win. And just that interception from TCU ruined them. Kronk 55 yards and a touchdown on 17 carries, though, so not a great game for the efficiency, but hey, either way, they're on to the semifinals, and they could take themselves to a national title game once again, as Tennessee now is the team that they got to deal with. 19-14, Tennessee leading. Third down and 12, though, with the ball, as Tennessee going to have to punt it away. So Georgia, big stop there, and they are going to lose 5 on that play. Some of these bubbles just get blown up, and then you get a play like that. That's just incredible. A perfect throw, a good catch, a broken tackle, yards after the catch. You're at midfield and getting into Tennessee territory now to gain a 6. 7.5 to go as he go read option. And okay, he somehow stayed on his feet. That's a great no gain. I don't know how he got that kind of contact balance. Third down and 4, though. Kronk not able to get anything. He is going to just have to get his team out there to punt. 2 straight no gains, but Tennessee backed up. It was a great punt that got him inside the 5. They're going to erase that bad field position with a broken tackle, and he's going down the sidelines all the way to Georgia territory. And yeah, that field position has now been flipped on its head. Is now Tennessee, the 1 in Georgia territory, in potential scoring range here. If they can get a third down in inches, you could get yourself even more time off the clock. There you go. And now maybe you're also looking for a touchdown to make it a 2-score game. Bubble outside the blocking for the Tennessee receiver is pretty nice to get them 8. 4 minutes to play. Tennessee, that is a terrible decision. Even if you caught that, you were going to lose yards. So incompletion, probably the best outcome there. Third down, loses yards. So you settle for 3, and the field goal, good. It's an 8-point Tennessee lead. Georgia needs a touchdown. 2-point conversion with 3 minutes to go. They got to go another 72 yards as they go to the flats and tackle for a loss of a yard or 2. Third down and 2. He'll step up. He'll scramble. He's got the first. It slides down as 31-yard line now. And he'll throw, but he's swarmed. That's everybody in there for a sack. Everybody got down. 3rd and 18. Got the completion knocked away. That was a really close one. 4th and 18. This could be it. He's hit as he's throwing. There's a flag. Picked off, but they're really going to get him for a flag there. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Underthrown. Oh my God. That's some straight nonsense. I need Georgia to pay for that one. As they'll throw again now, 37-yard line. They got a second life on this drive. 3rd down and 8, minute and a half to play. They'll step up and run. And man, reaching, not going to get the first down. It's 4th and about a yard to throw. And coverage, no penalties this time. And Tennessee will take back over. A first down ends it, or a field goal, either one. As they'll throw, that is ridiculously dangerous. That's a couple of dangerous plays. Tennessee, though, 4th and inches. They're going to go for it. That's bold, and they don't get it. Okay, Georgia has another chance. Georgia now, 55 seconds. How many opportunities do you need? Okay, 50-yard line, 47 seconds. They're outside, over the head, and missed them. 50-yard line still, 3rd and 10. He'll scramble, but only get 2, and they'll have to hurry back. 30 seconds, 4th down, short of the line, not gonna get it. And now Georgia finally over. How many lives did they get in that one? But hey, Kronk goes for 1,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, just not good playoff performances. Kronk goes pro, though, 5th round pick. Could have stayed and got a little bit higher. Trueluck goes in the 4th round. And now we have Beckner going to Ole Miss. And the running backs this year, Brandon Stick is going to be a starter at Georgia now. So he's just a full out-and-out guy for the 4th straight year now. Georgia's going to have a 4th different number 1 overall running back as their guy. Beckner, elite dev, and Hufanga up next, East-West playmaker. I mean, you've seen a lot of nice change of directions for these players, so he's no different. And Georgia, well, they're not in the playoffs, actually. So they're still somehow playing Michigan. So Georgia and Michigan have played a couple of times this video, and now not even in the playoffs. They go all the way down to 6-6. So Brandon Stick might not be the guy. I know it's not all him. He did not single-handedly make this team lose like 5 or 6 less games, but still, my goodness. Oh, there's a fumble on the bubble. It's counted as a backwards pass, and Michigan scoop and score to tie the game. Yeah, Georgia's offense is weird, man. That's too many bubble screens. There's another regular screen. There's a little too much in that, at least for the CPU. I'm sure the playbook is more than just this, but whoever's calling the plays, I don't love the decisions being made here. Is Georgia throwing it deep and one-on-one, incomplete, and they'll have to punt it away. Michigan takes over, and a handoff as they'll go for about 9 on the play. The running back's got 98 yards on just 6 carries, so he's had a great game. That's something I've noticed a little bit. There's a lot of running backs that have some pretty crazy games, but just not touch the ball a whole lot. Like, doesn't seem like there's a lot of players in general that have like these big workhorse type of games. Not a lot of like guys who are getting 20 plus carries a game. So, that's interesting. It makes sense because in the world of college football, like you limit guys' touches, you go for the freshman, you get a deep backfield rotation and everything. So like it makes sense, but like it does feel like there's some times where teams should have like a bell cow type of back, even if it may be a dying breed of running back, especially in college football, but it's not extinct yet. At least it shouldn't be. Those players exist, especially when you get your guys who are like far and away the most talented backs on the team. As the throw up top is incomplete. Michigan settled for a field goal on their last drive as the throw now on the screen, and he just flat out missed the screen. 3rd down and 10. Now another screen. No, dude, get Georgia out of here, man. Okay, Michigan back with the ball as they will have a broken tackle on the check down and get 6 on the play. There's just under 3 minutes to go. They could try to end this game right here. Run for the quarterback keeper, and he's got a first. Georgia burns their first timeout. Jet pass, and he'll get about 2 on the play. Second down and 8. Handoff will get them 3 more. Third down and 5 for the game to end it, and that will do it. Michigan wins, and yeah, Georgia, elite fall off here. Stick 37 yards and a touchdown. He had 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. He's going to transfer, though, and he's going to go to Miami. Hufanga goes to Ohio State. So, no Georgia backs right now. Stick is going to start at Miami. But, yeah, right now we have nothing in Georgia. With, like, coach boost and everything, he's a 91 overall. Gideon, still not starting, but he's an 86, 87 with boost. Beckner is going to still be on the bench for Ole Miss. Hufanga, star dev, 77 overall. So we just got to deal with the singular back being a starter and Stick at Miami. Clay Griffin, the next one up, contact seeker with 93 speed. And Miami does not make the playoffs, so they'll just be, you know, potentially regular bowl action. Beckner, 300 yards and 8 touchdowns for him. And a Miami Penn State bowl game is what we got to work with here. Miami went 7-5, unranked, and throwing into the end zone. Miami with the interception. So they're down by 3, but got a pick in the end zone. And Stick, I mean, he went 6-6 with Georgia. And Georgia's supposed to be like a big-time contending team. And then he goes to Miami, another big-time supposed to be contending team. And then he goes 7-5. So maybe he's the problem. I don't know. That's a pass-off target, 4th and inches, and they put it away. As Penn State is going to take over now. And they go jet pass. So, like, that's definitely something we've noticed, especially in this video. I feel like it's been more prevalent. A lot more like the short stuff, the screens, the simple stuff, jet passes, bubbles, RPOs, and some of it's like acceptable, but there's some times where it's a little egregious, where teams in general shouldn't be running like 2 to 3 screens in a row and having like an absurd amount of usage on that in certain situations, especially when you're like 3rd down and inches. You shouldn't be, you know, going to screens like that. You know, 3rd down inches, there you go. You get a nice little run up the middle, you get the first down. That's more we should be going after here. So the run, again, gonna get them another 6 yards. So Stick not even in the game. It's the backup running back getting the ball, and the backup's getting 2 yards. As Stick still out the game. 3rd down and 2. Throw outside, broken up, 4th down. They'll go for a game-tying field goal, and the kick is good. As it's 20-20 now. Penn State outside, swarmed it down for a loss. You got 4 to play, though, as this is what I mean, man. You should not be doing back-to-back screens like that. Both of them lose 2 yards, as they'll go on 3rd down and then hit a crosser route, something a little bit more, you know, high potential there. You get the first down, get another short pass here. And this one will get you 10. 2nd down and inches. Hand off to the back. Right through the middle. He gets the first down. You know, now that we had our little, like, run with Georgia, I'm kind of waiting to see. Like, we've had some nice players. Like, Tuttle was really good. The Sun and Heisman were really good, I feel like. I'm waiting for who's the next back. Who's going to be the next one? Because it definitely ain't Stick with how his career's turned out. And the fact that he's not even going to end up, you know, seeing significant time in any playoff game, despite starting his career at Georgia and playing there for a couple of years. Penn State looks like they're going to be able to win this game. They could run out the rest of this clock here. Maybe they got a minute 24 to go. Another first down, should be able to run out the rest of it, but they'll just go and score the touchdown here. And Penn State takes a 7-point lead, leaves Miami with a minute 15 to go from the 50. So they need to go 85 yards to tie this game up. And they'll start with 10 as from the 24, and they go with another pass that's broken up. 3rd down and inches. Into block is the backup running back, so Stick isn't even seeing significant time on this drive. And now it kind of has me worried for what his stats are even going to be this season. 45 seconds to play. They're at 3rd down and 8 now, as he'll throw over the middle with a completion. And Miami down to their final timeout. They're going to hold on to it. 35 seconds to play after the hurry up. And they get another one completed into the red zone. That's where they burn the final timeout. As with 18 yards to go, they get a completion short, but it's in the middle of the field. They only get 3. They lose more time than anything. 13 seconds, passes caught down to the 1. And they got to hurry up. 12 seconds to play and they're 1 yard off. Clock down to 9, 8, 7, 6. As he snaps it and moves right. Gotta get rid of it. Hey, sack! Game over. He had to throw it. If he put it in the dirt, he might have had another play. Stick gets 12 yards on 5 carries, runs for just shy of 1,000 yards. And this is also a crazy scenario here. What the heck is Julius Gideon doing? He's been on the bench for Tennessee for 3 years. He's got 21 carries this past season. He's going pro. What? What do you mean? Stick gets drafted in the 3rd round. And Gideon, despite running for less than like 100 yards in his career, gets drafted in the 6th round. Okay, sure. Clay Griffin is going to go to Texas. Why did he go pro? Like, he got drafted, I suppose. I mean, you want to talk about a running back with not a lot of tread on the tires. That's 21 years old and has a game's worth of carries, maybe. 2 games. Like, maybe 2 games worth of carries. Rhodes, the next one, looks pretty decent. Hufanga at Ohio State, 200 yards. Beckner gets his carries cut down, only 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then we get to Clay Griffin. Hey, we got Georgia back at it. And Aiden Rhodes is going to commit to Pitt. Beckner going to start at Ole Miss now, but Clay Griffin immediately goes from Texas to Georgia, and he's going to be a backup at Georgia for now. Hufanga still at Ohio State gets a +5, is a backup, and Aiden Rhodes, elite dev, and he's going to be at Pitt. So Pitt is like, you know, maybe one of the smaller schools we've seen. They're still a pretty big school. Dallas Cedar up next. Gem, 95 speed north-south receiver. Looks really nice. But, like, Pitt by no means what I call, like, a small school. But, like, it's basically just been the heavy hitters. Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama. I mean, Clay Griffin gets another 400 yards, 11 touchdowns as a backup. We had Ohio State's running back go for like 800 yards, and he was only there because like of some injuries, but he was still the backup. You know, the starter came back eventually. So, you know, he was on the bench. There wasn't really anything worth watching for him. But we go into a bowl game now, Iowa versus Ole Miss, where Beckner is the starting back. And with 9 minutes to play in a 17-17 game, it's Iowa, 3rd down and 17. Long ways to go. Pass is short and drop for 5 as Ole Miss takes over. And the handoff is through for 3. That is not Beckner on the carry, but, you know, it is what it is. They got 2 running backs out there getting production. They go 3 and out pretty quickly. 7.5 to go. Iowa hit as he's throwing. Gets it outside. Nice grab. He fights a man off. Gets out of bounds for a nice 1st down gain as Iowa's back. That's a great spin move to get all the way to the outside. Get yourself about 10 yards. Close to the 1st down line. Handoff now inside. They got the 1st, not much further, though, for a gain of 3, as they said it would have blitzed, but a screen out, and he's tackled for a loss of 3, as Ole Miss now with a 3rd down swat and gets the ball back. So back to their 2 running back set. Beckner has 57 yards, but just 18 carries, make it carry number 19. So, hey, this is more what I was talking about. Hey, where's running backs getting, you know, 20 carries? Where's guys getting a little bit more of a heavy workload? Well, Beckner's getting it this game. He's just not doing very well with it. So I guess maybe he shouldn't be getting it. As of the run up the middle, there we go. That's a little bit better. Beckner 20 carries for 76 yards now. 4 minutes to play as a throw over Beckner's head, and he can't get that one as they go with the little RPO outside throw, and that's going to be just 2 yards. 3.5 to play. Beckner on the ground. He's pushing forward for 5, but that gets them, I think, just enough to where they feel comfortable with a field goal kick on its way. And that's a lead for the Rebels at Ole Miss now. Can your defense shut the door on this bowl win and get their 10th of the season? They were just outside of the playoffs. Probably if they went 10-2 would have made it. Instead, they got to deal with Iowa here as the 2-minute warning is approaching. From the 44, chased and sacked. 2nd and 18 at the 2-minute warning. From the 35, as a clean pocket gets it outside. That's somehow caught. 3rd and inches. Triple option. Gets it out. And that's just an incredible job on those last 2 plays. That catch for like 17, 18 yards was amazing. And a 1st down now into field goal range. So Iowa very much in control here. If they didn't do that, you took a sack that lost you 14. So say Iowa's in control here. They could take it to overtime or maybe even score a touchdown for the win. Now you're looking more for the overtime as they get that one for just a 2-yarder as the field goal at 50 seconds to play. Good. We could be headed to overtime. Ole Miss will see what they have here. Beckner loses 3. Iowa and Ole Miss down to 2 timeouts. Passing completed out of bounds, and now Iowa may get the ball back. Beckner is tackled. Iowa timeout. 30 seconds to play. I mean, it's not impossible here. You gotta go 25 yards at least to try like a 60-yarder as the run is gonna get him through the second level. Okay, that's 23 yards. 20 seconds to play. And no, he's sacked. Sacked with 16 seconds. You're out of timeouts. Clock is running. You can maybe try one shot to get to the sidelines and maybe kick a long field goal, but I don't even know if you're gonna have enough time for that. 7 seconds. Dropping to throw. He's throwing on the run. Dave Paul got a stab. Caught. Touchdown at the buzzer. What a play. Are you serious at that one? That is insane. A touchdown for the win. I mean, that is also an insane throw on the run. Split the defense. That was beautiful. Really, that was just beautiful right there. Iowa with the win. Beckner goes for 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns. A really good season just to go pro, go in the 5th round, but a disappointing bowl loss. Dallas Cedar goes to Miami, and we'll see what he's got for the Miami depth chart. He won't be too buried. Hufanga's going to start at Ohio State. Clay Griffin's going to start at Georgia. So 2 big school starters there. Aiden Rhodes, not quite yet at Pitt, but he did stick around, which is cool. And Dallas Cedar Elite Dev, not going to start day 1, but doesn't have too many people ahead of him. And this is a first for the video. No 5-star running backs. We have a 4-star. Andres Benjamin is a gem. So cool, he's a gem. He is the #1 running back, but he is the worst #1 running back. But he's a gem, so he might not actually be the worst. Aiden Rhodes as a backup gets 480 yards and 9 touchdowns for Pitt. And then Georgia took on Rice in the bowl game, and as you would expect from a Georgia-Rice game, 42-3. And Clay goes for just about 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. Leaves us with a BYU-Ohio State playoff game here for Hufanga, but BYU is up 27-9, and you know, I'm going to at least let it ride a little bit. Ohio State is the better team, the higher rank, the home field advantage. They have the ball. Let's see if they can maybe pull off the comeback. But, you know, I'll give them a short leash here as Hufanga with a nice run. Give it back to him. And he's going to have 3. He's ran it pretty well. I mean, just over 5 yards a carry. So, like, he's doing his thing, but the rest of the offense, not so much, as their quarterback's got no touchdowns and a pick, but he could end that right now and get into the end zone from the 8 now to make it a closer game. First down and goal at the 3. 7:20 to play. Hufanga driven down. As 2nd and goal hits from the 6. Blitzing. Broadtown with a sack. And now it's 3rd and goal from the 13. As Ohio State floats it outside. Got the grab. Gets it to the 2. 4th and goal. Maybe your last chance. And nope, he does get into the end zone. Touchdown. So, again, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. 5.5 to play. And BYU stopped for a 3rd down and 7. Can they get the 3 and outs? As they are going to get hit and not able to bring it in. All right, Ohio State gets it back. Okay, hold on a second. We might have something here if they especially can find a field goal is doable on this drive. Like, you can take one if you need to, as they'll go outside with a nice completion into the 45. But with all your timeouts, if you take a field goal on this drive and make it a 1-score game, like, it's a little interesting. They're in field goal range now. I would just hope that they don't force the touchdown here if they don't need to, as they get 6 yards from Hufanga. 2nd down and 4. They'll throw outside. Got the... Oh, I thought he had that. Broken up at the last second. 3rd down and 4. So throw coming across the field. Got the 1st down. As at the 25, you got to still have some urgency here. 3:17 to play. And no, picked off. Said some urgency. Didn't mean force it, as that will basically be your game. And Ufanga goes for 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, and goes in the 6th round. So, cool for him. As Benjamin goes to Texas A&M, the 4-star running back, Clay Griffin, still starting here now at Georgia in his 2nd full year. Aiden Rhodes is going to take a +6 and start at Pitt. Cedar's going to be on the bench still, +3. And then Benjamin, the 4-star running back, is a 70 impact. So he was a gem, and he's 70 impact. That's not good. I haven't really dove into the non-5-star players, but dang, man. If a gem 4-star running back is looking like that, maybe that's just an outlier, but dang, man. Georgia takes on Temple here, and Georgia was left out of the playoffs, 15th in the country, 9-3, and their consolation prize is a bowl game against Temple, where, Georgia's not what they used to be a couple of years ago in this video, where, Sun and Heisman were out here competing and even winning a national championship. They now are just kind of a fine team. They're a ranked team, at least. They're something, but not competing for a national championship right now. And they're in a 1-score game against Temple, as the throw quickly is going to be brought down for a gain of 5. 7 minutes to play. They go handoff, and Griffin driven to the ground, loss of 1. 3rd down and 6. They sweep it to Griffin, and he's not going to get the 1st down. They'll have to settle for 3. No, they're going for it. I think you should go for the field goal there, and they don't get it. 4th and 3, up by 6. You're making a 2-score game. It's Temple. And okay, well, maybe that's why you didn't do it, because they're immediately going to pick 6. I was about to say it's Temple, but maybe that's why you did go for it. You're just not scared of them. Temple is going to now be down by 13. So I guess it all works out for them. Georgia defense is going to be at a 3rd down and 9. Will you force a 3 and out? As they'll go outside. That's a great grab, and he hangs on for the 1st down. So Temple, give him another 3rd down spot. Gets the screen out, and he's got the 1st. So another conversion there. Temple got another 3rd down in you. 3rd and 3. As they'll go short. Nope, incomplete. 4th down. Maybe your last try. And they're just driven to the ground. That might do it. Griffin, do you have a nice little carry in you? Yes, you do. As they'll get a 1st down. Temple down to 1 timeout. As the keeper, quarterback, got the 1st. And Temple now is going to be done for. And he didn't get the touchdown there, but they'll instead just kneel it out. So pretty cozy win there. Griffin 50 yards in the game, 1,000 on the season, just barely hovering over that 1,000-yard mark. So let's go to Pitt. Rhodes has got his boys in the playoffs against NC State. 10-2 versus 10-2, 8 versus 9, and NC State is up by 6, but Pitt has the ball, or well, had the ball after that incompletion to force 4th and 7, where they got to punt it away, and they're driven all the way back to about their own 10 to start the drive. So let's see what they got here, as they are going to have 2 runs for 7 yards, 3rd down and 3. Pitt sends the pressure, and they get a tight completion for a 1st down, as with 8.5 to go. Deep drop, get it out to a receiver who's open. And we'll get to the 42, so they've already dug themselves out of that far back hole. The field position game now more in their favor, and if they can get a field goal on this drive to push it to a 9-point game, it's going to be trouble for Pitt, and it looks like that could be very well where we're headed. They're at the 37 of Pitt. Throwing open in between the defenders. That's a fumble! Oh my goodness, man. That's a late fumble, but they're going to call it on the field as a fumble. And Pitt has just been gifted an opportunity. Look at the pocket collapsing around him. He gets rid of it. And that's going to be a completion. That's an incredible job under pressure there. 2nd down and 6 hits. Under pressure again. That's a good throw, and he caught that too. All right, we got a dude who knows how to handle the pressure. Does not know how to maybe read that play, though, as he loses 3. 2nd and 13. Swings it out short and will lose 3 more. 3rd down at 16. The drive might be derailed just like that. Short and nothing. So they'll have to punt it away. Under 4 to play, as NC State now can maybe rectify what happened on last drive, where they were well on their way to maybe putting this one away, and instead had the fumble. Now 3rd down and 4. Can they avoid the 3 and out? And no, they cannot. Pitt, you got another chance in this one, as the 2-minute warning is hitting. There we go with a 3rd down and 1. He'll drop to throw it. And Pitt moving, throwing back across the middle, got a completion, and breaks through for 10. Minute and a half to go. We haven't seen much of like any Rhodes in this one, but you know, still got to follow his team and see what he does. 3rd down and 10 here. Pump fake and step it up. Firing in coverage. Got the completion. Breaks up a tackle. Falls forward. And to the 31 of NC State. They're down to 2 timeouts. So basically this drive is it for them. As the completion there, they burn another timeout. Now it's definitely now or never for Pitt. Outside. Broken up. 2nd and 10, but you're at the 20-yard line. It's doable as he moves left and throws it short, and that's going to lose him a yard. That's not really going to help him at all. 3rd and 11 now as he's going to get sacked. He just didn't know what to do. 4th and 18. Take your shot to the end zone. It's incomplete, and that'll be the game where, I mean, it's a nice season for Rhodes. He had 56 yards in the game, 1,000 on the year. And Georgia's going to grab another running back. I mean, maybe it'll get him up there eventually. Clay Griffin's going to be actually a starter again at Georgia. Rhodes back-to-back years for him. And adding to it, Dallas Cedars going to be starting at Miami. So we got 3 up. Benjamin back up at Texas A&M. He's got a long ways to go because he started at such a low overall. And Quincy is star Dev. James Tryon up next. We're coming down to the wire here with the last number of running backs that are going to be introduced. Miami, though, 1 seed. Pitt, playoff team. Dallas Cedar, make it number 2. That's the 2nd best running back award that we have won. Georgia has fallen completely off they have no bowl game, but Clay Griffin had his best season. And then we move to Pitt versus Ole Miss. So Rhodes is, you can see him out there on the fake as the quarterback going to keep it. But we might have a fun scenario here where if Pitt wins this game, we're going to get a number 1 on number 1 matchup. It would be Pitt versus Miami. Rhodes versus Cedar. Cedar winning best running back obviously means he also made NCAA All-American. So, you know, that's just the 2nd player to have a best running back award season, which, hey, I'm happy that we got multiple here. Ole Miss's quarterback. Did you see that? 63 yards. There is no way that dude has been their quarterback the whole game. He's got to be, you know, the backup or something. Rhodes also incredible efficiency this game. He's got 7 carries for 105. That throw is a disastrous miss as 3rd down and 10 hits. Outside broken up, but that 2nd down miss is brutal, man. Ole Miss play action as they'll go over the middle. And, I mean, you can see the passing yards, though, just 85 still. I mean, he is a star, so, like, maybe he is just straight up the starting quarterback, and he's just had a stinker today. But they've managed to put up 13 points still. As now trying to add on to it. He's got a receiver with space. Got him all the way inside the 5. Goal to go for the lead. Keeper loses 3. 2nd and goal. Sweep it. And running back tries to cut it back in. Only gets 2. 3rd down and goal. As the Rebels, they're going to get sacked. He just could not do anything. This quarterback is a little bit of a slow processor sometimes. His field goal's going to be good. And it's 16-16 as Pitt. There's Rhodes out of the backfield with the grab, making a man miss. And Rhodes, who's been just incredible on the few touches that he has gotten. Can he give more touches? There you go, out of the backfield again. Rhodes. All right, some receiving going on here. We don't see a whole lot from these running backs. I have not had a single receiving season worth showing you. I'm genuine with you guys. Not a single running back has even had 300 receiving yards in a year yet. None of them. Not a single season. I'm not exaggerating. You'll even see when we get to the final stats and everything what the career stats would look like. I mean, ain't nobody having any sort of receiving production right now. So seeing a little bit is nice, at least in this one. 2nd and 13. They go outside for not really much of anything. 3rd and 11, the spot here. Rhodes into block. As that's going to be caught, and he's got just enough for the 1st down. 2:20 to go. Handoff Rhodes. Gets outside. Rhodes turns the corner for 9. He's got just 9 carries. Make it number 10 now, but he's done so well on his 10 carries. 1st down and goal from the 10. As they set it up, incomplete. Screen not going to go their way. 2nd and goal. And they go, end zone open! Touchdown, Pitt! 23-16. Ole Miss has just 90 seconds to try to tie this one up, or we're going to be getting a Ole Miss versus Miami exciting game. Tipped up in the air. That should have been a pick. 3rd and 13. You can still get off the field here. If you get 2 more stops, it's a sack. Well, now you need a stop on 4th and 19. Can you put him away? Throw it up. It's caught. The first down. They'll go handoff now. 55 seconds. And I don't know if I love that one. A 5-yard run's going to get them set up with a completion here into Pitt territory. You got 44 yards out, 40 seconds, 1 timeout, got a completion with room to run. And all right, he's got 21 more. This is getting a little spooky now as he'll go with the throw and avoids the sack. But, I mean, that's not much better. You lose a couple of seconds there on the play, and also you got to hurry back to the line. He was tackled in bounds, all for just 2 yards. If you just put that ball in the dirt, you would have saved yourself like 10 seconds. Now you got 16. And on 2nd and 8, he's going to run. He's got to get the first. He does. He had to get the first for the clock stoppage, but there's just 10 seconds. And he's got to go 10 yards. Clock ticking. 7, 6, 5, 4. This might be it. Last play of the game. And sacked. Game over! These are always the fun matchups that we end up getting to have. Rhodes, 122 on the ground and a touchdown, but these are the fun ones we get into. A matchup where both sides of the ball have one of these #1 running backs. On one side, Rhodes for Pitt, who has had a spectacular season, especially with his yards per carry that you'll see once his run is over. And then on the other side, Miami, #1 in the country, where their running back Cedar has gotten the best running back in the nation award winner. So while Miami may be the favorites, up by 13 right now, Rhodes did have a great performance to get here, and Pitt has the ball in Miami territory at the 33-yard line. So they might be down 13, but they could definitely cut into the lead right now. Scrambling, and he'll get about 7 yards on the play. 2nd down and 3 from the 26. Got it to the tight end, get it into the red zone, and they'll be at the 17 now as the throw will be with time. Scrambling again. More room to run. He gets 8 more. 9 yards out. And he'll find Rhodes. Got him out of the backfield. Touchdown, Pitt. It's Rhodes, the running back. Now we turn to Cedar. What has he got here after getting the best running back in the nation award? He's got 70 yards on 12 carries, and they'll go back to him. And Cedar's got 2 more. 3rd down and 4. Don't want to go 3 and out here. Don't want to give Pitt the opportunity as they'll scramble for the first down. As their quarterback's got 111 rushing yards. What a dynamic duo on the backfield on the ground. As they'll throw now on the run. Got it into Pitt territory. So these two, the quarterback and the running back, are nearing 200 yards combined. And he's also getting it done with his arm. He's got 200 yards throwing as well. Cedar on the sweep. Gets to the edge in the red zone. And he'll give him 6 more. 2nd and 4. Play action. Picks up the block. Cedar with a nice job there. Gets it for his receiver. Touchdown, Miami. It's a great drive to put him up by 2 scores and maybe make it just too far ahead of reach for Pitt, who needs to score a touchdown again and then needs to get a stop and score again. It's just a lot to ask as he's sacked now. 3rd and 15. 3.5 to play. And takes a shot deep. And it's underthrown and incomplete. 4th and 15. Game probably on the line here. He's going to take another shot down the field, and it's incomplete. Miami takes over. Cedar on the ground, and inside the 10. Make it 3rd down and inches. As Cedar getting another carry. Back into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. And he's the best running back in the nation for a reason. 45-24 Pitt with just 30 seconds to go now as we jump ahead. They'll get Rhodes out of the backfield again and get another touchdown. So, hey, Rhodes with 2 receiving touchdowns. Oddly enough, he didn't have a whole lot of receiving touchdown production throughout the season. Just in this game, Cedar goes for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rhodes 33 yards with 2 receiving touchdowns. And look at the 7.9 yards a carry that Rhodes was able to have. An incredibly efficient season, an awesome year. And it's, disappointing that it's got to end like that. Miami, meanwhile, their season might come to an end if they can't figure something out here against Notre Dame. It's 24-13. Cedar out of the backfield. He's got 6 quarterbacks. Not having too hot of a day compared to last game. As they'll throw for a first down here. You need to find points on this drive, even if it is a field goal. As they'll throw again. as I don't know how much Cedar will see with the situation being what it is. 2nd and inches, you should see him here on the ground, and they do, but they're just ready for it. He's only got 9 carries. Make it 10, and a tackle for loss. They'll punt it away, and that's really unfortunate, but Notre Dame now with a great opportunity here to, put the game away in their favor and maybe go up 3 scores on Miami if they could find the end zone. Irish QB sliding down at the 43, 6 minutes on the dot to go in the handoff. He cuts it back down the middle of the field and gets a nice 7 yards. He's got a 10 yards per carry game going right now. And look at the add-on to it, but a tackle for a loss. 3rd down and 6. You need to get off the field here, and they will. So the margin for error, pretty minimal. You're backed up, needing 94 yards for a touchdown. He's scrambling. He's got to get rid of it. He does barely. My goodness, man. From their own 4, you got to realize you're in your own end zone. He gets rid of it for Cedar just to, buy a little bit of space. That's fine. 3rd down and 4, though. You need a couple of big plays. There's a 1st down. Probably got to go hurry up as they don't hear, but from the 18 now. Throwing, coming across the field. I mean, these drags and these little checkdowns, they're not going to do a whole lot for you with what you need. As he'll step up and throw, floating for the sidelines, and it's incomplete. 3rd down and 5. And now Notre Dame's defense teeing off at a sack. 4th and 11. Hurry it back to the line, and this could be all it for Miami. A 14-0 season with an award-winning running back could be done right now. In the semifinals, they'll go short, and he's not going to get it. And Notre Dame takes over, and Miami's defense will at least get them off the field. But, I mean, the situation is still just dire. Field goal try is actually no good, but, I mean, you're only down to 1 timeout. You're not going to score before the 2-minute warning, most likely. So onside kick's probably going to need to be where you go. Unless you score, right now. But no, Cedar with the completion to him. He's got 9. They go with a quick throw. 1st down. Hurrying it back up. So you're kind of just accepting the fact that you need the onside kick now. Makes sense. But you can't be getting plays like that. And he fumbled the ball anyway. It's picked up by the Irish. And he's going to take it. There's your dagger. Notre Dame scoop and score to end it. And the incredible season for Dallas Cedar is going to end at the semifinals, where he runs for 1,400 yards and 24 touchdowns. Clay Griffin goes in the 5th round for Georgia. Aiden Rhodes goes in the 6th round, so he never got to a high overall, but he was still really good. And Cedar, why did he transfer? He transferred. James Tryon ends up not committing anywhere, so again, when this happens, we go to the next best guy, and Tryon, you could see there's only 1 Tryon, and this isn't the one that we were looking for. So Cedar transferred to Auburn. He's going to go up +6. Benjamin's still kind of buried, but the new running back we got to deal with is actually headed to Alabama, and it is Siaki Onatolu. Elite Dev, good. He was still a really high-level running back. And here's our final one. This is the 25th running back, Josh Thomas, contact seeker. And we have a Heisman candidate for the first time in this video. Dallas Cedar, won best running back at Miami, transferred to Auburn. I don't even know why. They must have threw him a crazy amount of money, but here he is, Heisman candidate, best running back award winner, back-to-back years, and a Heisman victory. So, hey, I might have questioned it. We might have been a little confused. Why did you win best running back and go to the semifinals just to come back and go somewhere else? Well, he goes and wins the Heisman Trophy for Auburn, and he's got them in the playoffs, so making it the most decorated running back in this video with 2 NCAA All-Americans, 2 Best Running Back Award winners, 2 Conference All-Americans, and the Heisman Trophy, and 2 playoff appearances as well now, and with 2 different teams. So Quincy for Georgia, back up, got 600 yards. Benjamin finally got in the field for A&M, 400 yards and 7 touchdowns. And we head to Auburn, where they take on Ole Miss, and let's see what he's got here. He was number 1 at Miami, number 28 now for Auburn. as they're up 26-14 at home here. So they got to do it, from the first round, whereas they got the first round bye at Miami last year. So let's see what he's able to do. Extra playoff game, having to be gone through to win a national championship, as it's the best run of the day from Ole Miss's running back, who's got a really poor game going right now, kind of contributing to why they're down by 12 points. But they are at least in a spot here where they could cut it down to 1 score and still have some time for them to try to get the ball back and do it all over again. As the read option, they'll get into Auburn territory and a first down. Big hit, but he keeps it for the 38-yard line. Now throwing and short underneath, makes a miss and gets another first down. As Ole Miss moving it well. Clean pocket, a lot of time, and a flag is down. He's got the grab, and this one's gonna be not on the guy who's in coverage there. It's going to be at someone else for pass interference. It's not going to matter. They'll just decline it and keep their completion. And then on the next play, 1st and goal now set up at the 1 after a 10-yarder. Hand up the middle. And the Rebels got a touchdown. 1-score game. And here we go, it's Cedar. It's your time to shine. Stiff arm. Oh my goodness, put him on the back. And he got a nice run. Cedar's over 100 yards in this one. Just a brutal run there as Cedar breaks through to the second level again. 19 more. And yeah, that's just 2 chunk runs right there. Now into the flats. Tight end broke a tackle. Got into the red zone. And Auburn's moved it very quickly as Cedar runs through the middle, reaches. They may give him another 10 yards close to the first down. As they'll throw now outside. Caught at the 4. Goal to go. Cedar on the ground, runs through, powering forward for a touchdown. Dallas Cedar. Just impossible to stop on that drive, I suppose. And right back up by 2 touchdowns, Auburn goes. As now with 3.5 to play. Unsuccessful run. You really can't afford to be running the ball much more. I mean, you need 2 touchdowns here. They'll throw up the sidelines. That's a completion for a first down. Hurry him back to the line. I think if you score within the next minute, you maybe have a chance, but that would involve you having to stop the Heisman winning running back, which might just not be possible with the way he's playing. As that pass out of bounds for 7 yards. All right, you stop the clock, get a decent little gain there. That's what it's all about. Out for the first down now. Stays inbounds, but he got the first, so you stop the clock momentarily. 12 yards out. He's sacked, though. Loss of 7, and that might have just derailed all the upward trajectory and momentum that you had, as they'll scramble, only get 5, take more time off the clock, 3rd and 12, and he'll fire to the end zone. They'll call him down at the 1. So close, and with all their timeouts, Ole Miss scores a touchdown, as they have a chance with 3 timeouts to stop him, but they need Cedar on the ground. He loses 3 on that play. Cedar on the sweep, on the edge, puts 1 on the ground, but not 2. 3rd and 15. And it might be almost getting the ball back. Screen, Cedar for the first down marker. He's a couple of yards shy, and Ole Miss will actually get a chance to win this game. If they pull this one off, that'd be really heartbreaking, considering I want to see Cedar get to the next round, and he's gonna do it! Defense picks him up! As Auburn's gonna win this one. The defense shut the door, and Cedar had a great game. 16 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 20-plus yard runs, and Army is the opponent. They got a first-round bye, Army did, which is kind of crazy. But Auburn is up 27 to make it 27-20 with that field goal. So it's a 1-score game. And we'll see what Cedar has here, as that's a nice play there to break a tackle, get the first down. Quarterback's played a clean one. Nothing crazy going on, though, as they got a couple of screens going, and Army can't tackle right now. That's not going to bode well if you can't tackle the receivers. When you got Cedar on the ground here, they'll bring him down. 2 defenders get him down. He's got another big game going. 13 for 149 is his game right now. This is ridiculous. I mean, he's the Heisman winner for a reason. As the handoff, Cedar tackled for no gain. Still, though, 10 yards a carry at least, as they'll throw deep over the middle. That should have been picked. Could have been picked. 3rd down and 10, as they'll go with another drop. Throw, first down, and it's actually just the passing game getting it done, as they'll go bubble screen. Nice blocking from the receivers. Breaks a tackle all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn. Didn't even need the Heisman winner to do much. You got the offense going on both sides, passing and running, and then the defense getting a sack as well now. This is scary for Army as he evades the rush, gets rid of it, but in traffic, incomplete. 4th and 17. Could be game here because they're going for it from their own 14. He's going to try to run. He's nowhere close. Auburn takes back over. Cedar on the ground, runs through a defender to the 4. Give him 9 on the play. Cedar on the ground, gets to the outside. Touchdown, Dallas Cedar. And Auburn's up by 3 touchdowns now. And that will basically do it. The game ends 41-20. Cedar 19 carries, 165 yards, and a touchdown to head to the semifinals against Memphis now, where, well, right now Auburn's up 27-10. So they're already dominating, and they got more offense coming at the 12-yard line. They'll go handoff Cedar through the middle, down to the 3. He's got another 100-yard game, and he's got another touchdown. Dallas Cedar is running through teams in the playoffs, 34-10. We jump ahead to 5 minutes to play, and Auburn just piling it on. They got another 30-plus yards from inside the 5. Cedar, touchdown again. It's just too easy for Dallas Cedar. How about 127 yards and another 2 touchdowns for Dallas Cedar, steamrolling his way to the national championship where they take on TCU, and they're up comfortably right now, 27-11. Cedar with the carry for 4. They'll set up the screen for him. What has he got here? Makes a man miss, gets to the outside, and Dallas Cedar does it in the receiving game as well, as they'll go in a little RPO completion to the receiver at the TCU 36-yard line. Cedar clears out in the backfield, and they'll go quick inside of the receiver, but this is just getting dangerous for TCU. They're already down by 16. Could go down by 3 scores now, as a bubble on the outside gets them to the 5. And will you get it to the Heisman winner again? Cedar down to the 3. He's got another 100 yards, and he's got a gain to the 2. One more. They give it to the backup running back. He doesn't get it. 4th down and goal, and they will kick the field goal. Kick is good, but it is a now 19-point game, and TCU is probably one mistake away from this one being all over. Dallas Cedar has had the least amount of carries that he's had in this playoffs, only 10 carries basically, but he's got over 100 yards again. And TCU's running game getting through, touchdown. That's a really good play for TCU to keep them alive. But now with 6 minutes to go, it's a 12-point game. Cedar on the run. And another 6 yards, averaging still 10 a carry. Screen for him. He's tracked down for a loss of 6, so he loses the yards he just got. 3rd down and 10. Stepping up, running, scrambling, 1st down. And that was just heartbreaker for TCU to have to allow that one. Cedar for 3 yards. And go back to him through the middle. He's got 10 more, keeping his 10 yards a carry average. Read option. They bite on Cedar, and he's got a 1st down running. They might just run this whole clock down. I mean, are you even going to stop him? Counter run. Cedar breaks through. Another 14. 2:40 to play. Draw. Cedar spins off and took a couple of guys to bring him down. Jet pass on 3rd and 6. Got the 1st down. And it's goal to go. Cedar, will he put it in the end zone one more time this season? Draw play. Yes, he does. That'll do it. Dallas Cedar, national champion, Heisman winner, best running back in the nation, 2,090 yards, 25 touchdowns, and a very easy 1st-round draft pick. We're not topping that, considering Josh Thomas is the last running back. I don't think we're topping that. Andreas Benjima, the 4-star guy, still not starting. Quincy is starting at Georgia. And then we have Siaki Onatolu, who takes a nice jump, a +7 for Alabama, not starting yet. And Josh Thomas at Miami is a star dev player. So those are the final backs. We'll sim out the rest of their careers, and we'll get into the final section of this one. Benjamin goes for 472 as the backup at A&M. Onatolu goes for 530, the backup at Alabama. And when it comes to Georgia, Oklahoma, it was a dominant 46-10 game. Quincy goes for 30 yards and just declares it goes in the 7th round. Sure, I guess. Josh Thomas will immediately transfer to Memphis, and Benjamin, after not getting any starting opportunities in 4 years, will transfer to North Texas, where he will be the starter. It only takes a +1, as Onatolu is already up to a 90 after 2 years, so he got a +7 and a +4, which is a pretty quick development for this game. Josh Thomas gets a +5, and Alabama will not be in the playoffs. North Texas will not make a bowl game, so Benjamin goes for 900 yards, 12 touchdowns. I think he's going to be too low rated to get drafted. Josh Thomas, as a backup, 95 carries, but got 17 touchdowns. That's really impressive. So let's go to the bowl game, where Onatolu is probably going to go pro since he's like a 90 overall after this, or I think maybe 90 with coach boost, but he's at least a high 80. So they're up 21-9 in this one, and the handoff to Onatolu is going to go down for just a yard. They'll have to punt it away in Indiana. Outside screen will go and get them to a 3rd down and 5, as Indiana down by 12 points. Gonna need a lot to go their way in this bowl game. And they got the 1st down with the scramble here as the read option now, keeping it with the quarterback's legs. And he got a nice run to the 47-yard line as they will go. Another read option. This one not as successful, as they'll have 6 minutes to play. They're taking a lot of time here. 4th down. A lot of time being burned for limited progress. 4th down and 8. They go for it, of course. Scrambling, and he's a yard shy. So all that just to get nothing out of it. I mean, that's just brutal. And Alabama's going to maybe be able to run this whole clock down because they got 1 first down. Play action on 3rd down. Onatolu out of the backfield. Make it 2 first downs. Get it down to 2.5 to play. Another 3rd down. Well, how about scrambling ahead? Get another 1st down. And 3rd down and 8. How about a 3 3rd down conversions all the way to get it down to 30 seconds to kick a field goal and win this game pretty comfortably, 24-9. And Onatolu goes for 68 yards, goes in the 1st round at a 90 overall, and to no surprise, Benjamin doesn't get drafted. He was only an 84, which means all we have left is Josh Thomas. This is the final back of the video, and he is in the playoffs. And not only that, NCAA first-team All-American, was the runner-up for the best running back. So he actually had a really nice year, but can he get it done in the playoffs now, as Thomas had 17 touchdowns on less than 100 carries last year. Comes back this year, has a really nice season as the out-and-out starter, and now Memphis against USC here, 6th in the country, 12-1 against an 11 seed USC. It's tied up at USC, breaking free on that play to get them inside the red zone. Now on 2nd down and 2, they run inside, 1st down. As whatever kind of happens here, like this is going to be probably the last season. I would imagine Thomas after that year is going to go pro, considering he's an 88 overall. And I don't have a reason for him really to stay in college when he's going to be a top 2 to 3 round pick. So 2nd and goal, we'll ride this out till his last down, and it's 3rd and goal. Can USC get it in? No, they can't. So a nice goal line stand. Memphis, they hold to a field goal, so it's 24-21. They'll drop back and throw now on their offensive possession and get a 1st down here, as Thomas gets the ball and jumps over a down defender, gets a 1st down. Thomas has a nice 77 yards on just 9 carries, as they'll throw over the middle, and that one contested but reeled in. 5 minutes to play as Memphis scrambling out, sacked, as he will go to 2nd and 20 now. Throwing right at a defender. That is just terrible. Picked off. That was awful. I don't know what the heck he was looking at. As we'll go to a little dig screen now. USC very much in control. 3-point lead and 4 minutes to play. 3rd down and 4 though. Can you keep the ball in your possession? No, you cannot. Picked off back the other way. And Memphis has been given a break. Now it's up to them to try to capitalize on it as they get a first down completed to the 24-yard line. 3:20 to go. As Thomas in the block, they got a receiver to the red zone. 5-yard gain, 3rd down and 3. Thomas, no, they fake it to him. Quarterback's got the first. As now we're at 2:30 to play. Thomas on the ground, goes outside. Josh Thomas to the 2 and a 1st and goal. Now make it 2nd and goal with the handoff. And the backup running back steals the touchdown. Unfortunate, but they'll take the touchdown nonetheless. And Memphis has got themselves a lead here with 1.5 to go. Trying to move on to the 2nd round. And it's 3rd and 7. They might be able to do it here as they send the extra man outside on the completion. Broken up. 4th and 7 game on the line. Here they send a 4-man rush. Pass is picked up. And Memphis takes it back. And with 1 first down, they're going to be able to end this thing. Run game loses 3. Run game again. It's going to get them just a yard. 3rd down and 12 for the game. First down is what's needed. He'll just take the sack. That's fine. As the punt now. Oh my goodness, the punt is blocked. The punt is blocked. USC, can they pull this off? That is a ridiculous blocked punt. A minute to go. They're at the 29-yard line now. They can score a touchdown to win this game. As he's sacked. 2nd and 19, 47 seconds to play. He'll let it fly towards the end zone. It's tipped. It was in his hands for a moment, but then knocked down along the sidelines. 3rd and 19. Gets rid of it, but he only has nothing to show for. No gain. 4th and 19. And the block punt's gonna end up in nothing. He dropped it. What in the world was that one? That blocked punt was crazy. And then that drop there. Oh my goodness, man. Memphis, they got a little lucky there, but also USC had some luck on their side. I mean, that was just, either team could have won that one. Now Memphis taking on Miami here in the 2nd round. Miami is currently up 17-10, and they have the ball inside the 5, 4th and inches at the 1, and they'll kick the field goal. So, I mean, that's fine for Miami. They'll have a 10-point lead, but for Memphis, this could be it for them, as they need a 10-point comeback with 8.5 to go. Thomas to the edge, and Thomas has got 8 yards. He's having a really rough game though. 21 yards, make it even less than that. 18 yards now on 12 carries. Thomas is getting obliterated. This is a deep ball on 3rd down, and it was going to be potentially open. It was underthrown though. He had a step or two. That's just a really tough throw to make, and it's picked off instead. I mean, I love the effort, but I mean, it takes, like, you know, you need to be like Justin Herbert and Josh Allen, Mahomes. You need to be Burrow, Lamar. You need to be one of those guys to make that type of throw. He's not that guy. And now the defense does get a stop, but it'll force a long field goal try. 60 yards. My goodness, these kickers put down 60-yarders with ease. Like, that is crazy, man. All right, well, 13-point game, and that's a really good completion. That's a really good one. That's an NFL-level throw right there, but 6 minutes to go, needing touchdowns. You can't run the ball. Thomas has done nothing. Your quarterback's getting hit. That ball is also dropped. 4th and 7. Everything going wrong right now, as they'll throw in coverage. The receivers at least have some great hands in this one. They've had some nice catches. 5.5 to play in the flats, as he makes a defender miss, and, well, to the 30-yard line. You score a touchdown here, you know, you got some hope as well, but the Miami defense, it's just, you know, clear talent advantage for Miami. As Memphis sacked again. 4th and 24. You got to go for it, and this could be it. Throws it deep in double coverage, incomplete. And Miami up by 13 with the ball in Memphis territory. They get a first down, run the clock down. Memphis down to 1 timeout here. Another 3rd down situation. It's caught, and another first down. How did you let that one happen? And one more for good measure. They are not going to get it. It's 4th and 1. They'll just kick a field goal. I think they could have went for it there, though, but they'll just kick the field goal. No timeouts. Memphis ends up doing really nothing with their drive. Final play, 3 seconds to go. He gets tackled in bounds, And that is going to put a wrap on this one and this video as a whole for the simulation, but don't go anywhere. We have the final section, the stats and the info. Thomas, 1,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, a really good final season for statistics. He goes in the first round, and that means we have gone through all 25 running backs, all of their careers, and have seen what they have to offer. Which means next, we get into the stats, we get into the info. Some people prefer this part. Some people, I'd imagine there's probably some people who just skip straight to the end here and only look for this part. But I also wanted to show you for Dallas Cedar, who won the Heisman. Well, how common is it for a Heisman running back? Well, in these like 30 years of Dynasty, there was Dallas Cedar and a cumulative of just 2 other Heisman running backs. So Dallas Cedar, in a like 30-year span, was one of 3 Heisman winning running back. So there's not a lot to go around. He was one of them. So let's start off with the location of these players. Where did they all come from? Well, you could see where the area that was most populated, down south where the running backs reside. 5 in Florida, 4 in Texas, and we had Louisiana, we had South Carolina, we had Georgia, we had Alabama, we had Tennessee. All these states down south were giving us running backs. And then weirdly, there's Connecticut up there with a running back. And I'm pretty sure, to my memory here, I'm pretty sure that was the Michigan guy, Tyreek Tuttle. I'm pretty sure that was him who came from Connecticut. Interesting. Also interesting, Ohio had 4. Cool. And the only state that was not on the east, or maybe down south, was just California all the way to the west with 2. Brings us to the results of these players, their developments and their scouting. Well, 28% of them, 7 out of 25 were gems. The gem to bust ratio was heavily favored, in a positive way for the running backs, where the quarterbacks weren't as favorable. 7 gems to just 2 busts, and well, I mean, I will be, I guess, referencing some of the quarterback stuff, so if you want to, I guess, avoid spoilers, you can go watch the quarterback video, but I'll talk a little bit about how that compares. It's very interesting that no matter the bust, no matter what, the fact that we had a 4-star, same thing with the quarterback video, no normals. No normals for the running backs, no normals for the quarterbacks when it comes to development. That is 50 number 1 players between the 2 videos where none of them have had normal development, so that's definitely a change. I mean, maybe, again, lucky batch, but I would have to believe 2 batches of 25 number 1s, you would have gotten a normal at some point. So, that the top line players will have some sort of development. And considering that not only that, 21 out of the 25 had star or elite, because there was still only 4 impacts. Like, these players are getting high-level developments, which is, that's the first major change that I feel like I've noticed is their better developments, which I think makes sense. You should have the top players have better developments, which kind of interestingly leads into the fact that, the developments for these players, while they're high dev traits, the overalls are not jumping out of the screen, jumping off the page, but that's just due to a overall skewing of the overalls and the power scale being a bit different, whereas last year you were getting 95, 96, 97, 98s, and they were, top draft picks and everything, whereas this video we seen 89 to 90 was about as good as it got, and those were 1st round picks. So it's not like, oh, it's a 90 overall, so they're not that great or anything, and they're like a 4th round pick. No, a 90 overall last year might have been a 4th round pick. A 90 overall this year, that's a 1st round pick. That's a top of the line player. A 90 overall was the best that we got. So that's just kind of something you got to readjust to. The numbers might not be that high, but the performances are, and where that is relative to the position, relative to the rest of the nation, is that high. That is just kind of what we're dealing with right now. So you can kind of see, the numbers, 83 when you're getting to year 4, and for the handful that made it to a redshirt senior season, which I'll tell you, only 3 guys made it to a redshirt senior season. 85.5, so you're in that, mid-80s territory. That's deemed a, late round draft pick. That's a 6th or maybe 7th round pick. You could sneak in there. The highest 1-year jump was a +7, which I believe was the same as the quarterback video. Biggest career jump, a +14, which got him to an 87. The lowest career jump, though, pretty high floor, and that's kind of the thing I've noticed. The number 1 prospects, I think, have a higher floor this year. again, relative to position with the overalls. The overalls, again, may not be crazy, but the fact that the worst players are still, like, NFL caliber guys, it means something. And this is what I mean. Only 2 players went undrafted. And I think the 2 players, you could easily write them off. One player that went undrafted was the only 4-star running back that we had who just, he took a pretty good jump in his career. He just was started at a 70 overall, so he just started so low. He got to an 84. A plus 14 in his career was pretty good. Just wasn't enough to get drafted. And then the second player was Deacon Banks, who ran for 1,300 yards, was a mid-80s overall player, hit the portal, and just didn't commit anywhere. He would have been drafted. Like, he probably would have been a day 3 pick at least, even if he only jumped up like a +1 overall. So I'm pretty confident saying every 5-star running back that we had in this video that had their careers like start to finish and entered the draft and didn't disappear or wasn't a 4-star, all of them got drafted. Every single one. The floor is higher this year with these players, which is cool. And I think for running backs, it makes sense. You're that talented, you're going to be drafted. You're going to at least get some sort of NFL attention because there's still that hypothetical upside and the athleticism there with you. Now let's look at the archetypes and these stats for these players. 9 of them were elusive bruisers, 7 east-west playmakers, 5 contact seekers, 3 north-south receivers, and just 1 backfield threat. The 1 backfield threat we got, though, was good. It's kind of weird how that player was like such an anomaly. Tuttle, again, I think he was the 1 player from Connecticut, which is kind of like the outlier random place that the player was from. And then he was also the only backfield threat. So he's like kind of like an outlier weird player, but he was one of the best players in the video. So like, we don't have an issue with that. I think if I had like a gripe with the running backs this year is I just don't like that there wasn't a lot of high agility moves for these players or high like individual stats that weren't like athleticism. Like 97 speed as the best one, that's really good. 93 excel, 95 change of direction, those are like pretty nice like face stats for a freshman. But the fact that 81 spin, 81 juke, 81 ball carrier vision, we kind of discovered this with the quarterbacks, that 91 was kind of like the about as good as it gets. Maybe you get a 92 if you get a little lucky, but like roughly that's going to be the threshold for the best that you're going to get. If I would have liked to see some guys have some, high 80s juke moves. I'm not asking for 95s. I think it would be nice for some guy to have like a really high juke or spin, and not have it be like a generational player. But, that's kind of my only gripe there. But you could kind of see everyone was pretty consistent, fell into the same range with juke, spin, vision, carry. All of them were around 75. And then you get different variations of the speed. And, the catching, obviously, some can't catch to save their lives. And even the backfield threat, mid-70s catching. So I just think I would like some more diversity with, like, running backs. Maybe having, like, an 80 catching. Or maybe having, high 80s, low 90s juke or spin or break tackle or carry. Like, those stats, a player should be able to be, like, really good day one at one of them. Into the milestones and back on the theme with players having a high floor. All but 2 players had a 1,000-yard rushing season. The 2 was the 1 4-star running back, and then that Gideon dude who declared for the NFL after never really playing but still got drafted. But everybody else who got a chance had at least a 1,000-yard season. And to my surprise with the way this video went, there was actually a little bit of extra playoff success. The quarterbacks were 12 out of 25, running backs 13. The quarterbacks were 7 out of 25, won a playoff game. The running backs were 8 out of 25. Conference All-American, roughly half of them. Only 1 Heisman Trophy, which is less than the quarterbacks, but it is a quarterback more slanted award these days. 3,000 career yards. Now, obviously, that part of that is maybe like a little bit of a longevity award where some running backs were kind of one and done or 2 good years and then left, but 6 of them ran for 3,000 yards. 4 of them were contributors on a national championship. I didn't count like one of the Georgia backs who was like a freshman who didn't play at all. 4 running backs were legitimate contributing players on a national championship team, and 5 made NCAA All-Americans. I think it's really fun to look at the best individual seasons here. So here are the best of the best for the individual years. Aiden Rhodes having a 7.9 yards per carry season where he took Pitt to a playoff victory and a second round appearance, 13 touchdowns and a lot of big runs. Tyreek Tuttle won a national championship for Michigan with 1,700 yards, 6.6 a carry, and you could see the receiving yards. There was a reason I didn't show a lot of receiving stuff. Dallas Cedar, his first season as a starter at Miami, 24 touchdowns and a Best Running Back Award winner. Kevin Heisman was a Best Running Back candidate and had 1,700 yards, 7.1 a carry, 19 touchdowns. And Dallas Cedar, again, this time at Auburn, jumps out way ahead. How about 2,090 yards, 25 touchdowns, 7 a carry, 28 long runs, and by far the highest receiving production of any running back. No running back had any more than 300 receiving yards in a single season except Dallas Cedar, who had 450 and 3 touchdowns in that season. Without a doubt, the best year. And now the cumulative best of the best stat lines here. Barack Hassan won a national championship with Georgia. Him and Kevin Heisman were a 1-2 punch that had a really good production, and 51 touchdowns was the second most of any running back, just behind Dallas Cedar's 52 touchdowns. Tyreek Tuttle, national champion, 3,000 yards, 32 touchdowns. Heisman had the least amount of total yards, but contributed to a national championship with a 700-yard season, and then had the second best individual season, and still was pretty level when it came to yards per carry and touchdowns. Aiden Rhodes was really good as well for Pitt, but Dallas Cedar, I mean, that's just the dude. That's just the dude, this video. My goodness, 3,500 yards, 52 touchdowns in his 2 main years playing. I mean, he is up there for all of the stats, and I mean, 680 yards was the most any running back had receiving as well. So, I mean, what a career for Dallas Cedar, and I think, at least in my opinion, my favorite back of the video was awesome. The fact that he also did it at 2 different schools, won a Heisman Trophy, won a national championship. There's nothing he didn't do. So let me know what you all thought of this video, how this compared to the quarterbacks. Also, you know, I would like to know, what are the best prospects you're finding? I've been searching for some generational players to maybe make a video on. I've been having a hard time. So like, comment, and subscribe, though, if you enjoyed with how long these videos make and how much effort it takes to put everything together. It is a lot, but I appreciate every bit of support that I get on these videos, and I will see you guys all in the next one.